देखा होगा, तो how they have dealt with the autistic child, Amir Khan ने. And similarly, how assistive technologies can help the differently abled children, that is also a concern. And also the policy talks about the use and integration of technology in educational administration, governance also, including assessment, testing, even conducting studies, having standards also through portals, apps, telecast, broadcast to reach out to a large number of audience across the country. And if I take you through the next part, CIET, NCERT, as a national level institute, we are developing a large number of digital books, all mathematics NCERT textbooks starting from class 1 to 12. You can find on ePathshala mobile app and Diksha mobile app and portal as well on your mouse click on your palm, and read that and also use that. And these books are also integrated with quick response codes, so you can scan the code and watch a video, scan the code, listen to audio, scan the code, get a talking book, scan the code, get assessment questions, scan the code and get infographics, and also a large number of other resources like Indian Sign Language videos, audio books, and so on. So even recently we have started developing, because the policy also directs for developing augmented reality, virtual reality, and virtual labs for enhancing teaching learning process. So we have started developing augmented reality content, and also we are working together with even IIT Kharagpur alumni and also SIDAC Mumbai and many other higher education institutions to develop virtual labs, AR/VR content also. And if I talk about the further initiatives which NCERT is working at the national level, the primary of those initiatives are Prime Minister's e-Vidya program, then Diksha, digital education for knowledge sharing, and also ePathshala mobile app and portal. Diksha is also having a portal and as well as a mobile app. You can log into diksha.gov.in and similarly ePathshala.gov.in. And I have mentioned that there is a large number of teachers in our country. Scaling the teachers for their training, 8.5 million teachers in our country are in schools. So their continuous training for in every year is also itself a challenge. We have developed a mobile app and portal popularly known as NISTA, National Initiative for School Heads and Teachers Holistic Advancement. I think most of you must be knowing about SWAYAM, Study Webs of Active Learning for Young Aspiring Mind, because I know many of the ISIs are also developing online courses. So including we have one ISI near NCERT in a stone throwing distance. So they are also doing a lot many work, and many thousands of courses are available on swayam.gov.in portal, which students from schooling to higher education to technical education to professional education can undergo these courses for free. Some courses of NPTEL, IIT Chennai are also paid courses. So which students, teachers, teacher educators can take up. Similarly, NCERT has developed ICT curriculum for students and also teachers and teacher educators in SCERTs, diets, College of Teacher Education and Institute of Advanced Studies in Education, so that their continuous capacity building is done and students also learn through use of technology. And if I talk about the next, the first initiative, the Prime Minister's e-Vidya program, under this NCERT is running 12 television channels under one class, one network. And for each class, we have a DTS TV channel. There are dedicated slots, 3 hours, 2.5 hours to 3 hours per day, which is repeated 7 times per day. And students, if they miss the videos in the school, they can watch at home or vice versa also. Even in COVID pandemic time, it was a boom. And these videos are also simultaneously telecast on Jio TV mobile app. If you use a Jio SIM, you can download a Jio TV mobile app and you can watch all the TV channels of NCERT on your palm. So similarly, we use a large number of radio stations. Nearly 400 radio stations are used by NCERT, and we have a large number of audio contents for visually challenged children also, for otherwise also, including talking books and audio books. Even we have a dedicated channel, iRadio, for podcast also. So we are podcasting our radio programs also through one internet radio channel. And I mentioned about Diksha digital infrastructure for knowledge sharing, which has a portal and app. And including NCERT, there are other agencies like CBSE, National Institute of Open Schooling, and many other organizations under the Ministry of Education. They have the content. Besides that, we have content of all the states and UTs on Diksha also. So nearly 2.84 lakh digital contents are available on Diksha, and nearly 7,000 e-courses are available on Diksha, and nearly 6,000 plus digital books of all the states and union territories with QR codes, quick response codes embedded into the chapters are available both physically and digitally as well. A large number of contents we are developing for visually challenged children, including textbooks in DAISY formats, audiobooks for visually challenged children, and also talking books. All the NCERT 377 textbooks converted into EPUB, electronic publication, which can be automatically read by a visually challenged child. A visually challenged child can listen to those books, reading for the child himself or herself. So there are several online courses also for school education. NCERT is running nearly 30 online courses on SWAYAM platform for school students, particularly for 11, 12. And we have, as a part of PME Vidya program, Diksha, television, radio are the focus of discussion for a resilient and coherent access system. If I talk further about the television channels, I have already mentioned that there are nearly 6,300 television programs produced by NCERT, including from the support of many other organizations, and we are having telecast of this. And as a feedback mechanism, we have through emails and through an interactive voice response system, we are getting feedback through telephone calls also. Even we can call back our audience also to get their feedback as well. And these are the details of the radio content we have been preparing and we have been broadcasting. I have already mentioned that to all of you. And if we go to the next slide, the Diksha is harboring these many resources. And I mentioned about the digital textbooks. We call it energized textbooks because they are energized with quick response codes, QR codes. And the number of contents and courses I have already mentioned. And if I talk about the impact factor of Diksha, every day 5 crore page hits on Diksha platform are there, who are school teachers, school students, and their parents. And the contents are available in 36 languages, Indian languages, including
Professor can you hear me? Professor, yeah. Your slides are not moving. Can you just go to the slide, because we were saying to the next slide, but your slides are not moving.
Can you see my slide moving now?
No, it's not moving, sir. We can see the first slide only.
You are on the first slide?
Yeah, we are on the first slide only, sir.
Oh, so sad. Just a minute.
Yeah. Reshare it.
Yeah. No, I'm just going back. Can you see my slides?
Yes. Right now, Diksha's slide is here.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So can you see this slide?
Yes.
In presentation mode, there is some problem. So
sure.
Just
now
can you see this slide?
Yeah, education scenario in India. Yeah, we can see that.
This?
Yeah, okay. Education scenario in India.
This I have already spoken, so I am not repeating it. And this also policy directions I have already spoken. What are the policy directions there? I'm not repeating. And also on the policy, what policy has exactly said on integration, use and integration of technology, that I have already mentioned. So I'm not repeating. and the variety of digital contents which we are producing at CIET and CRT level that I have already mentioned, starting from energized textbook to e-courses to guidelines and handbooks, interactive content, infographics, videos, sign language videos, audio books, talking books, and books in DAISY format. I don't think I need to repeat. And these are the 6 major initiatives I mentioned about PM Vidya, Diksha, e-Pathshala, Nishtha, Swayam, ICT curriculum. So I think I have spoken. Do I need to repeat? Can you see the slides changing? Hello?
No, no, sir. Slide is not moving. We are still in education scenario in India. Education scenario in India.
Oh. That means I am coming back to the mode in which you can see my slides. Can you see now?
Yes. PM
Okay.
Vidya,
Yeah, this is the policy direction I spoke. Is it visible now?
Yes, it is visible.
This is again the policy direction also I spoke.
Yeah, I can see.
This is also the variety of digital contents we produce I spoke.
Yes.
Can you see the slides changing?
Yes.
Yeah. And these are the 6 major national initiatives we are leading, taking care of in school education sector, not in higher education or technical education. So PM Vidya, Diksha, e-Pathshala, Nishtha, Swayam, and ICT curriculum. Clear?
Yeah.
And this PM Vidya I elaborated that how 12 TV channels we are managing, how radio channels we are managing, and how Diksha platform we are managing, how e-content for visually challenged we are managing. And also these are the television content which we have developed from class 1 to 12th, and there is a interactive voice response system and email as a written mechanism for taking feedback from the stakeholders. Is it okay? And these are the radio program details, that nearly 3,500 radio content and nearly 400 radio stations we are feeding across the country, including we are managing 1 internet radio. And these are the digital contents available on Diksha I have already mentioned. Can you see this slide? And I mentioned that there are contents in 36 languages, including 32 Indian languages, and also we have a large number of content in Bangla, Odia, Assamia, Marathi, and all the 8 scheduled languages we have. And these are 17 almost building blocks on which we are working, starting from teacher professional development to having question bank. Even we have a CQ application which have large data analytics also. We take up quick survey also, we call it rapid surveys using the platform. Even to some extent for language translation also we do through digital modes. And also recently we are working on a control and command center. We are calling it Vidya Samiksha Kendra, where large data analytics will be available for the whole country to help us in policy decisions and policy implementation also. So that is there. I think it is visible, the slide. I was mentioning about the QR codes printed in the books. So how physical books are having QR codes, and we are enabling digital content on every book. Every chapter you find a quick response code. If you scan the code, all the resources will be available. So nearly 6,000 books have been QR coded, 6,000 plus books, which are uploaded on Diksha also. And it includes 377 NCERT textbooks, and also it includes all the state board books, except West Bengal board book we don't have here, but all other board books are there. And we have a large number of contents which are in Indian Sign Language. So because there are a large number of students in India who use sign language for their daily communication. So to supplement and complement their studies, we have developed. So nearly 3,000 sign language content, including a 10,000 sign language dictionary developed by Indian Sign Language Research and Training Center in Delhi. In collaboration with them, we are doing that. And also how we are having coherence of a TV network and also online portal and mobile apps. So we are having a quick response code on all the TV programs. So if there are 2-3 siblings at home, so one sibling can scan the code of a particular class video and watch on mobile or tablet, and the other child can watch on TV. And I think you are on this slide. And we conduct a large number of teacher training programs. Recently, we conducted teacher training on 42 lakh teachers as a NISTHA Elementary. NISTHA is a national level training program where all the states and UTs, their teachers are oriented on NISTHA training. And there are nearly 85 lakh teachers, and it is a mandate from the policy NEP 2020 that every year 85 lakh teachers should be trained in school education. It is also true for higher education, including ISI faculty and NCERT faculty. So we need to be trained every year for 50 hours mandatorily on different aspects, including technology, cyber safety, security, even big data analytics also, so that we can help in policy decisions and implementation. And we run one national level portal called ePathshala, and a mobile app also developed, and a large number of people use that, and a large number of contents are there. You can get all the books on your palm from this app. Class-wise, subject-wise, it is there. And we have branded ePathshala. A series of apps on ePathshala have been developed. We have developed one augmented reality app also. So the textbook images can be augmented by scanning through this app, and we can get the contents from there. And also we have 28-30 courses on SWAYAM platform also for school education, I mentioned. So which could be used by the stakeholders. And also we develop ICT curriculum. This is the rollout also across the country in states and UTs. And we have a large number of guidelines for development of e-contents and running digital education across the country. These are the 4 guidelines which have been developed and implemented. Cyber safety and security is a challenge itself. Even many students are the victim of this menace. And a large number of students are becoming victims of cyber safety and security, and also losing their parents' money. Even in extreme cases, they commit suicide. So to sensitize the stakeholders, we have a large number of documents which are disseminated through multiple modes. And also we help our neighboring countries and also other countries, including we have developed a portal and app for Mauritius also, which is for free, and we are managing for them also to continue learning in pandemic situation as well, and with the other countries. And also a large number of video series, including how content, technology, pedagogy integration can be done by the teachers, including to motivate teachers. We have a national ICT award to give to the teachers. They get a laptop, a medal, and a certificate free from the Honorable Minister. And with Google, we have developed a Google Assistant app so that a visually challenged child can read the books. Like you ask Alexa, play music of Anup Jalota, or you can sing a song from somewhere, or you can read a stanza from Gitanjali. So maybe a similar way we have used Google Assistant so that talking book are available on our PAM. So these are some of, and counseling, a large number of counseling sessions are also organized online and through TV network. This is the summary of whole work we do at NCERT, digital work. And recently our work was appreciated by UNESCO. UNESCO has been has bestowed us with the UNESCO's King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa Prize, which is having a $25,000 US and a certificate and a medal. So just on 24th of this month, June, today is July 1st, 24th of June, we received from UNESCO headquarters Paris. And also since NCERT deals with 15 lakh schools, 85 lakh teachers, and 26 crore school students, we require a large number of professionals who can help us in data analysis. And we are very soon going to have a data center of the whole country, including the district level and state level data could be visualized and different program implementation could be done. So maybe you people can help us in using R or many other free and open source software are there, or SPSS also. So if you are having expertise in the area, even the young professionals, particularly UGs, PGs, or doctorate fellows from ISI and other institute can help us as intern also. They can come, even we pay some token honorarium also for helping us. So we'll be happy to be associated with ISI Kolkata in any form to take this journey forward and also provide appropriate skill to the young professionals who are studying and researching in Indian statistical institutes across the country. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I thank the director ISI and my good friend and the Chief Librarian of ISI, Dr. Kishore Satpathy, for this opportunity. Over to the control room. Thank you very much. Could you hear me properly? Your class.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Any question? Somebody is raising a hand.
Anybody, if any query you have from the audience?
You can text me also.
No, sir, not yet. Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sir, we have one, sir. 1 second, sir.
Okay, good. So at least it is not one way. Somebody coming?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, sir, yes.
Actually, my first interview I gave in ISI Kolkata for a faculty position. I was not selected. So I remember that experience also.
Good afternoon, sir. First of all, I would like to thank you very much on behalf of my students and of course on behalf of everybody who are present here. I'm a school teacher. I'm presently working in a school at Jadavpur. It's a government school. Sir, to be very frank, you had spoken about a lot of initiatives that the school teachers are of the training of school teachers, but we don't have access to too good initiatives, to be very frank, actually. Maybe it's not that we are not interested, but maybe somehow the organization or the arrangement of those initiatives are not possible. So, sir, I would sincerely request you, if it is possible, that to hold some workshops, means of course in collaboration with the government, so that the school teachers, particularly the government school teachers, are being upgraded about the digital skills, so that we can gain a first-hand knowledge of the digital skills.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your concern. And actually, unfortunately, West Bengal government has not been using any initiative at the national level. But we are in continuous touch with SCRT and Samagra Shiksha of West Bengal. They have recently, last week, written a letter to start the work. Very soon we will get all our resources there. But these resources are free. Even if you are there, you don't take permission from us directly. It is all open and free, mukt or muft. So anybody can use, even you can use it for your any purpose, except textbooks cannot be sold by anybody, but all other materials are free on Diksha, Ipatsala and many other of our websites. So that is why thanks a lot. But very soon we are going to work with West Bengal government to bring all these initiatives. Even there are a large number of content developed by Tripura and Assam in Bangla also, and in Hindi, English, and there are 32 languages present there. But we don't have a single resource from West Bengal because they were not onboarded on Diksha. So there are 42 cloned websites on Diksha, but West Bengal is not there. Recently, they have written us a letter. Very soon, we are going to help them and get associated to take this forward. You can also inform this. I have shared my mobile number and email ID also. Anybody can call and ask me on the text. So 9873-457143 is my mobile number. And amarendra.behera@cit.nic.in is my mail ID. So school teachers are free to mail or call. I'll be happy to support 24/7 if any support required by any school teacher. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, sir. Namaskar. Sir, from ISI also will try to collaborate with you, and we'll try to have a training program for the teachers of West Bengal. I'll be in touch with you, sir.
Sure, very much. You will be rather be happy to be having a memorandum of understanding for exchanging your interns to NCERT to work on our data. That is because we don't find any other institute other than Indian Statistical Institute, Kolkata can help us. Though ISI really is a stone throwing distance from us. So we'll be happy to be there. And we also provide a token honorarium to the interns, those who work with us. So if any intern interested to work on edtech data and the data related to school education sector, we'll be happy to welcome them in NCERT headquarters, Delhi. Thank you, Dr. Kishan.
Sure, sir. Thank you very much for joining from Delhi. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Namaskar. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Now we will hear it from Professor Shmorojit Bose. He joined Indian Statistical Institute, Kolkata in 1996 and is currently a professor in the Applied Statistics Division of the Institute. His current research interests are pattern recognition and its applications in image processing and speaker identification. Today, his lecture will be on life at ISI.
Can everyone hear me? From the back? From the back, can you hear me? Is it okay now? Is it okay? Is it better now? So you can hear me from the back, right? Okay, good afternoon everyone, and I know that it could be tiring. We are coming to the last phase today, and So what is going to happen now is going to be quite different from possibly what was happening earlier. That is not going to be just a lecture. Rather, it's going to be an interactive session because you know the topic. When I was asked to give a lecture here, I just wasn't sure what to do because it's from class 9 to 12 and pretty young and probably without any background in statistics. So I was told that maybe they will have questions regarding what is the subject statistics and what is ISI all about. So that's why I chose the title, Statistics and ISI. So therefore, I did prepare certain, I mean, I do have it, but instead of going through that like any practice lecture, I thought that I'll start with questions from the audience initially so that I can see, because the time is short, because we are running behind. And therefore, before I start, is everybody comfortable with English or is there any other preferred language? I can only speak in English and Bengali, unfortunately. So I don't think Bengali will be comfortable for everyone because anybody, bilingual. Okay, I can possibly switch. Yeah, in case anybody has any difficulty understanding any concept or anything I'm talking about, please feel free, raise your hand. I might repeat that in Bengali if that helps. Okay. So anyway, so I see this young crowd, and it's very different from a professional lecture where I see all old people. And when I look at you, I imagine myself how many years ago, probably 45 years ago, when I was about your age. And we didn't have this opportunity to come to ISI and know what it is about. So I'm a product of ISI. I came to this, I did my research instead here. So I came to this institute in 1981. And at that time, I had no idea what this institute was about. So before I start, let's just see what you think about statistics. So I would like some response from the audience. So what do you think when you come across the term statistics? What comes to your mind? Anyone? Yeah. So there's someone who wants to. Yeah. Graphical representation of data. Anyone else? Or maybe I should rephrase my question. Where do you see statistics in real life? That is probably better. Main media and more. Yes. That's the first thing I hear from anyone. Yes. Okay. So let's get to statistics. Applications of statistics in real life. Anybody wants to talk about that? Can the mic be passed on? I cannot hear it. Businesses, yes. Stock markets, those kind of things. Productions. Share market. Okay. People seem to be more interested in share market. So anything else? Cricket matches, yes. Only cricket. I mean, no other sports. Other sports, yes. Anything else? Electricity bill. Okay, that's very specific. Pattern recognition. Wow. What kind of pattern recognition? Image recognition. Okay. Wherever you have to play with data. Yes. COVID reports. I was thinking about that. I mean, these days you get so much statistics about COVID. Everybody check. You know how many more infections. What's the predictions? Second, the moving average. I mean, I think more people know about moving average now, like they learn in statistics. MS Excel. MS Excel. Well, that's a tool. That's not really statistics, but that's what we use for statistics. Okay. So what I'll do is that I'll go through the presentation a little bit. So this is what I planned. I do not know whether I have time to cover everything. So the first I'll talk about some examples, like what are statistical experiments. You know, when you think about statistics, probably you've heard from your parents or whoever come across this subject. Oh, it's so difficult, and this is very, very theoretical, mathematical. It is very scary, and some people think that it's all kind of magic. You know, I mean, they come to us with data and say that this is what we feel. So somehow you do the analysis and prove that this is correct. So as if we are magicians, and we'll be able to pull that from that data. So believe me, we are not magicians. This is not Hogwarts. I'm not Harry Potter or Dumbledore. I mean, if you're familiar with those terms. But I feel that we are more like Sherlock Holmes or Feluda we use our normal adjustment. So that is what I'll try to do with this examples to show you, because I cannot get into the theory, like it's too much. But I'll tell you what statistics is and how it is different from mathematics. That is what I'll try to tell you with some examples. Okay, so let's first talk about a very sad day in 1986. You probably heard about the Columbia shuttle, which exploded while coming back, re-entry. But before that, in 1986, there was another disaster. That was the Challenger space shuttle. Anyone heard about it? Probably not, because long time back. And what happened was that the temperature was unusually low, like minus 0.6 degrees Celsius, 30.92 Fahrenheit during launch. And there was a component called O-ring, which failed, and that's why this happened. Now, why this is a good example? Because this will show you that people have very wrong idea about how to use information, and statisticians can possibly help you there. So let's just proceed and look at two plots. The first plot is where you see the temperature on the x-axis or the x scale, and on the y-axis the number of incidents. Incidents are accidents here. So when these accidents happen, they looked at the temperature. Why? Because there was an overnight long discussion, conversation, that whether they should go ahead with the shuttle, the launch, because they knew that the temperature is very, very low. So they wanted to see if there is any connection between temperature and any accident. And they looked at the first plot. What do you see in the first plot? That there are accidents all over, right? In the high temperature, there are accidents, low temperature, there are accidents. So if you look at this plot, you will think that temperature does not matter, right? Because in every temperature you see, there are accidents. Everybody agrees? And they thought that the launches where there was no accident or incident, that carries no information. That's what they thought. But as statisticians, we know that that does carry information, because no accident is also information. And that is the second plot, where you see that these are the points where no accident happens. Okay, so these are the points where no accident happens. So what will you see now? Will you change your opinion that temperature matters? Anyone? Exactly, the vast difference between the data with accidents and no accidents. What is the difference? If you notice that below 65, there was no launch, and after 65, all the data with no accidents are concentrated on, right? So that means whenever there was a launch below 65, there's always accident. So that is very, very clear if you look at that plot, that we should not have gone ahead with the launch. So this is the first point that I'd like to make. Whenever you're looking at any conclusion, anything that you want to prove, you have to look at two groups for comparison. Two groups. That is, where the accidents are happening and where no accidents are happening. So then you can compare and figure out what is the reason this accident is happening. Is that point clear? Okay. Now the second example is gender discrimination admission to US University. And this is an example from a book called Statistics by Friedman, Pisani, and Pardes. An Indian edition is available. It's a very nice book, and it's without mathematics. It's like class 8 mathematics. If you have that background, you can read this book. And the first chapter, I think, first or second, it talks about this great example. So in a study, it was revealed that out of 8,442 men who applied for admissions to graduate program, only about 44% were admitted. Whereas out of 4,321, 35% were admitted, right? 44% versus 35%. So what do you conclude? There seems to be something wrong. There's possibly some gender discrimination here, because the percentage for men is higher than percentage of women, right? So that's the first thing. I mean, anybody will see that there's a difference. Now, as a statistician, as I said, we are not happy with just this, because we'd like to understand why it is that, I mean, what's the cause of this or why it is happening. So some statistics, I mean, actually, this was in Berkeley where I did my PhD, and some professors I know, they actually wanted to investigate, and they wanted to identify which departments are bad, like who are responsible for this, who are doing most discrimination. So that is the thing. So they suspect that they are not really allowing women, they're kicking them out. So they tried to look at the 6 major departments and try to figure out where this difference is coming from. Now, if you look at the numbers, there's the first department, so there are 6 departments, A, B, C, D, E, F. And if you look at the percentage admitted for men and women, it's 62% for men in A, whereas 82% for women. For B, it's 63% and 68% in there. So here you see that the women are actually higher admission. And the other department, 37, 34, very close, 32, 35 close, 28, 24 close, 6 and 7 again close. But overall, when they looked at it, it's 44% for men and 30% for women. Is there a magic involved here? I mean, is it possible that in every department you see that they are close, and in fact, some departments actually have higher percent admitted for women? So how can this happen? Overall is, you see the picture. Yes, I think we're on the right track. Please repeat that.
Number of women applied for the examination is lesser than the number of men applied. Here you can see that 560 men applied in department B, and in department C only 25 women applied out of.
Have you seen this example before? Then I should encourage you to apply to ISI or some other place and be a statistician. I mean, great. I mean, I just didn't expect that. Fantastic. So that is exactly what it is. See, these are the departments where you see there are higher percentage admitted, like 62, 82, like that, and here they're very small. And look at how many men and women apply. That's where the difference is. This is a department which is probably easier to get in, and 825 men applied, whereas only 108. This is 560 versus 25, as you pointed out, and 63, 68. And these are the difficult departments, and look at the numbers for women. So it's a choice of the departments for men and women. Yes, please.
But in case of C and E,
Yes.
number of women applied is more, so we cannot.
Right. So it is difficult. It is difficult to see that, but the only thing that we can see is that for the easier department, there are more men. So a huge chunk of men got admitted. If the calculator boys were here, I think they are coming. They probably could have quickly told you that, you know, these what these numbers are, and that probably you cannot do at this moment. So for that, let's just look at a hypothetical example. Let's look at a hypothetical example. I made up these numbers. Suppose there are 2 departments, A and B, okay, and there are total 1,000 applicants, and here 900 men apply here, but 100 to B. The reverse here, 100 applied to A and 900 applied to B. And 50% versus 60%, 20% versus 30%. So in both cases, the percentage of women admitted is higher. If you calculate the numbers, 900 into 50 is 45, 50%, sorry. This should be, yeah, so that's 450 and 20 out of 100, so that's 470. 470 out of 1,000 is 47, whereas 60% is 60, this is 27, sorry, 6 and 27 is 33. So it's not magic. This is what is famously called Simpson's paradox. That is, there's an overall pattern, but inside, the pattern is completely opposite. So do you see that now? That was difficult to see when you have 6 departments, but when you have just these 2, for example, now you see clearly that if people apply to this department, they have a more chance of getting in, and most men are applying and getting in. That's why overall there is a higher number of men. So if this becomes 500 each, then there will be no discrimination. If there is at all discrimination, it is against the men, because the 60% versus 50% and so on. So that is what it is. It's not magic. is that as statisticians, we go inside the numbers and try to figure out what is going on. And that is different from just math. Math will be just calculating these numbers. But we try to figure out what is behind these numbers. Is that okay? That's what I'm saying. If that is the same, then the pattern will be reflected in the overall numbers as well. But here is the opposite. Any question? Anyone wants me to repeat anything in Bengali here, or is it okay? Please feel free. I mean, because this is just like telling you stories. I mean, I'm not planning to do anything serious technical thing. Okay. How much time do I have actually? Do I have another half an hour or so? Okay. All right, let's see. So what I plan to do is that I'll probably go with another example, and then I'll go to ISI and statistics and what you can do in statistics, etc., etc. So let's just look at one more example. This might take a long time. So, probably I'll skip this for the time being, because if I have time, I'll come back. Yeah, so this is a great example actually. There is no math, nothing. You know, when we talk about data, we always think numbers, right? We always think numbers. But do you know that it is changing now? The data can now be audio, video, social media, all these things are also part of data now. But you think that is a recent phenomenon? Now look at this example. This is a great example where without any math, you can figure out what is going on. This is an example where in 1854, there was a huge cholera outbreak in London. And at that time, people didn't know that's a waterborne disease. People actually thought that it is airborne, like COVID, and spread by something called miasma. That was the concept at that point of time. Now, the London's water supply system consisted of shallow public wells, where people used to pump their own water to carry home. Actually, in our childhood, that was the case. We had tube wells where we used to get our water from. I don't know how many of you see tube wells, maybe like outside Kolkata or outside, the urban area. And about a dozen water utilities that drew water from the Thames to supply jumble of water lines to more upscale houses. So for more upscale houses, there are water companies who used to pump the water to the house. And the sewage system was also pretty bad. The previous emptied into cesspools or cellars. So basically, it was all mess. I mean, and the contaminated water used to get into the river and so forth. So there is somebody called John Snow, Dr. John Snow. He is regarded as one of the founding fathers of modern epidemiology, like the one that you see now coming into headlines for COVID. Epidemiology is a study of epidemics. And he theorized that cholera diffused in human body and spread through contaminated water. That was his theory. So what he did, in September 1854, there was a huge number of cases in Soho district near his house. And so he looked at 13 public wells, all the known cholera deaths around that. And he saw that there are some spatial clustering. So let me just show you. So this is data. To him, this was data. That's a map. And in the map, he looked at the number of cases around the wells. And you see that, so these black marks, the bar charts and so forth, this means that this area, there are so many cases, etc. So there's a huge concentration near what is called Broad Street. And I think at that time it's called Lexington. I have zoomed this, sorry, it was Cambridge Street, now it's called Lexington. So Broad Street, so you can see that there are a lot of cases around this area. But there are other areas where that was unaffected. And you can see that there's a pump here. And there's no case. And this area, there's a pump, which you can see in this picture. Okay. So he realized that there could be some connection with these pumps. And what he did, so he examined water samples from various wells under a microscope and confirmed the presence of unknown bacterium in the Broad Street samples. That's how the cholera bacteria was discovered. So statistics is not a science in that sense that it cannot discover the bacteria, but it can point towards that through as simple as map. You just have to have that kind of thinking. You have to be like Dr. John Snow. So those are the examples that I can tell you without map. So this is the area now, and in fact, there's a small pub with his name, John Snow, in that intersection. So people remember him for this great achievement. So let me come to the next part now. Is there any question at this point of time? Because I don't think I can explain you all the statistical methods in this forum, but these are examples, and the point that I was trying to make, to be a statistician, you have to have that additional inquisitiveness, almost like a detective, to figure out what is going on. Is that point clear? Any question? Okay, so should we proceed to the next one? That is a brief introduction to ISI. And then if you have any questions regarding statisticians, the career statistics, what can you do with statistics, I'll answer these questions. So quickly. So founder of Indian Statistical Institute, you know his name now, right? What is it? Prashant Chandra Mahanavi, his birthday was, I think, day before yesterday. And he was born in 1893, 29 June. He died 28th June 1972, just before, the birthday eve. And actually, he was a physicist by training, a statistician by instinct, and an economist by conviction. You see what he means. So actually, there's no statistics at his time in India, at least. So he was a physicist. By accident, he came across some journals, and he read those things and realized the potential of this subject, and he introduced that in India. And then economist by conviction, because he helped our nation in many economic planning and all that, in the initial days of independence. And obviously the founder and the father figure of ISI, and one of the best statisticians of India. And in this institute, there's only one professor. Like, we are called professor this, professor that. But if you say the professor, that's just him, even now. Now, what is our contributions? Obviously, I cannot explain to you this, but these are contributions which is worldwide accepted, even used now. And the large-scale sample surveys, you may have heard about sample surveys, census and all that. So sample survey is something that he introduced here, and many other countries followed his examples and his ideas later on. Flood research, planning, second 5-year plan was almost like all the credit. And these are like some technical things, but obviously one of the key things, his contribution, is this institute. And that is probably his biggest contribution to India. It was a very small, humble beginning in 17 December 1931. We celebrated our 75th anniversary in 2006. So it's about, I think, 80 years, 81 years now. I mean, 81 years, it's completed 80 years. And a very small, small laboratory in Presidency College is started. And then the budget was only rupees 250 at that time. Apart from it, there are 10 statisticians and mathematicians. The most important thing that BSTAT and INSTAT, which probably you are interested in, is that they started in 1960 and 1961. So about 60 years ago. The unit at present, we have headquarters in Kolkata, where we are now. And there are centers in 4 other places: Delhi, Bengaluru, Chennai, and Kochi. And there are some small units and branches. We have about 270 faculty members, 600 non-faculty staff, numerous students and research scholars, and the budget is like 300 crores now. It's an institution of national importance that was declared by an act of parliament. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was very much interested in statistics and this institute, so it really helped us a lot for the institute to grow. And the mission of the institute is to promote the study and dissemination of knowledge of statistics, to develop statistical theory and methods, and then use in research and practical applications, to undertake research in various fields of natural and social sciences, to provide for and undertake the collection of information, investigation projects, and operation research. So these are like all political kind of things. This was our motto, and unity, diversity, and the emblem, to the famous Banyan tree. Now let's talk about the academic programs. And Until now, we are allowed to decrease in like mathematics, quantitative economics, computer science, and some other subjects that might be determined from time to time. But the most important thing is that the Bachelor of Statistics 1960 started, and 1961 MStat started, and then MTech in computer science, etc. Then BMath started in 2000, MMath started in 2003, and then there are other programs. We do have economics in 1996 and MTech in computer science. These are active programs, and then there are some other postgraduate diploma programs and so forth, which may not be of interest to you right now. So undergraduate degree programs, we have two of them, GSTAT and GMAT. And then we have some master's programs in STAT, GMAT, and some other disciplines. And then we have some postgraduate diploma programs and research programs. So let's just talk about a little more detail about GSTAT and GMAT. So GSTAT is a 3-year program, bachelor's program that is done in Kolkata. And it offers comprehensive instruction in theory, methods, and application of statistics, several areas of mathematics. Mathematics is a very key thing in statistics, so therefore we give strong stress in mathematics. And some basic areas of computer science and optional courses in other disciplines. And on successful completion, what you can do, you can pursue higher studies in areas of statistics and mathematics or computer science. You can switch economics and so forth, or take up careers as statisticians in research institutions and scientific laboratories, etc. Similar things for BMAT. It's a 3-year program that is offered in Bengali and provides comprehensive instructions in mathematics and rudimentary courses in probability, statistics, computing, physics, etc. And here also on successful completion, you can pursue higher studies in different areas or take up a career in applications. Good point, there is no tuition fee, which is very unusual if you compare with IITs and so forth. Not only that, you also receive stipend. 5,000 rupees per month now, and sometimes is revised. And if you're a KVPI, you're inspired fellow, you also get similar amount, then you don't get the stipend from ISI. So you can choose to receive either of these. Are you familiar with KVPI and inspired fellowships also? Some of the things that you can try. But this stipend is linked to performance and attendance, unfortunately. So if you don't attend classes or if you don't perform very well, then obviously your stipend will be cut. And students also get a contingency grant for purchase of books, laptop, computer accessories, and so forth. Facilities hostel, obviously subject to availability, is not a big place. We have problem with hostel accommodation. We have planned to build new hostels, etc., but it will take time. But most of the students who are outside Kolkata, we can accommodate now. But our batch sizes are growing, so we have to grow. There's like library is like, India famous, one of the best libraries in India, not just in statistics or mathematics, but in even other disciplines. People come to ISI to access the library. Internet connectivity, like the whole campus is connected with Wi-Fi and everything. And the important thing is that automatic admission to the corresponding master's program. That means if you finish this tab with honors, then you automatically admitted to MStat, and same thing from BMAT to MMAT. And then we have placements. Placement is almost as comparable as IITs and other course or engineering programs. We can talk a little more detail about that later on if you have interest. And who can apply? Anyone who completes 10 plus 3 years of higher secondary education with mathematics and English, they can apply. They're eligible to apply. Look at this. There's no statistics. So that means even if you apply for this tab, you do not have to have statistics as a course. And in the admission test, you can look into online and look at more details about it. In the admission test, there is no statistics questions. It's only math. For both GSTAT and BMath, the same level, higher secondary level, class 2 level. And if you prepare well, then definitely you have a chance to do it. All India selection tests are available at several centers. It's generally the second Sunday in the month of May. And 2 tests. First test in the first half is 2-hour MCQ based test. And second, in the afternoon, we have 2-hour short answer time. And candidates based on the basis of performance are called for interview for GSTAT in Kolkata and for BMath in Bengaluru. There are some exceptions to the selection process. If you are an INMO awardee, that means in the mathematics Olympiad, if you go up to that level, then you do not have to appear in the written test. You can apply and you'll be called for an interview, and based on the interview, you could be selected. So there's an exception for those really qualified students. But they have to still apply. And then we have reservations now. We have, as usual, whatever is the norm of the government that we have to follow. So that's basically it. And now I would like to hear about any questions that you may have. It could be regarding, statistics as a career, like, or ISI. What you can expect in ISI? How to prepare for ISI? Any question? Anyone? Okay. I encourage you to, so obviously you have to know more about it, right? Please take the microphone. I think everyone can hear.
The school maths that we learn in level 12 is quite different from what comes in the ISI Open second paper.
Have you looked at the questions already? So which class are you in right now?
12.
Oh, 12. Okay, so next year you'll do that. Okay.
Yes, sir. So how to manage the whole school maths as well as the maths that can come in ISI and
Okay, first of all, you have to manage the school maths to come to that level. So there's a question of, neglecting that. So I think you should concentrate on that first. And if you're, really doing well there, then what we always say is that there's a book. It's a collection of old questions from ISI. I don't have it. Tomato. It's Tomato, the acronym. Taste of Mathematics at Class 2 level. And there you see, and we try to ensure that that is almost like standardized. Like every year, if you look at the questions, they are above that level. Obviously, there are new questions, so you can't. And whenever you get questions, you think that, oh, these are harder than what we practice, but that happens in any exam. But we try to keep it that level. So if you practice that, I think, and if you think that you can do all those questions, I would say that you are already prepared enough. Okay. Any other question? Yeah.
Sir, apart from school maths, how will you prepare for ISI exams?
There are certain books that may help, and I cannot really recommend any particular book for obvious reasons, but you can look into the internet and things like that. I mean, like a little more at the advanced level, that the first year college level, like some number theory, permutations type of things that you can practice, but they are not necessary. But if you want, say, after all, your mathematical skill, which is important. So the questions are going to be, we don't repeat any questions. So actually the faculties invent those questions, and therefore they are not going to be common. So that's why if you have that ability to attack new problems, that is good enough. Now, practice whatever problems you can find at that level or a little bit higher level. But definitely we don't look at undergraduate mathematics college books, and the syllabus will be the same as class 2. But there you might find some more challenging problems. Like, for example, number theory. There are certain things, if you know, it might help you to do certain problems quicker. But without that, you might be able to do it. Now it's up to you, up to which level you want to go. So if you have the time and inclination, by all means, you practice those. But that is not required. I mean, the syllabus is that, you know that. But there are certain questions, certain things that probably not taught at that level at school, but you can practice. And you'll see that, like, if you look at the questions in Tomato, you'll see that there are certain patterns, and you might be able to find certain, like, some books. Am I allowed to mention books here? I don't know. I mean, there's the ex-dean here, and probably a future dean. Maybe they can also say. Huh? Like the. Okay, so what I'll suggest is that I can share my email. So if anybody is interested in that, can write to me in the email, and then I can possibly send it.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Sir.
Yeah. Yeah, please. I just want to
Someone wants to be a space scientist, sir. After ISI, in these 3 years, which line can we pursue?
Okay, the question is, if somebody wants to be a space scientist, after BStat, what line should one pursue? First of all, I'm not a space scientist, or I do not know anyone who close to me who is a space scientist, so I'm not really in a position to answer that question very well. But what I can say is that no matter what area you want to pursue in science, you will definitely require certain level of statistics. So I can only tell you that after doing BStat, I'm sure there are avenues where you can go to that, but for that, you have to look at possibly some institutes where they offer these programs, and you have to prepare for that. So after doing this step, and it's open. I'm sure this education will help you, but they might require some additional things, additional skills, which I'm not really in a position to answer because I'm not a specialist. But I can assure you that whatever you learn will be useful for that also. All right.
Sir,
Yeah.
what's the age bar of PMAT?
We don't have any age bar as of now, I think. Like in other institutes, they only allow like up to maybe 2 or 3 years after your class 2. But in ISI, very recently, we had a student who completed his BTech from IIT and then came to the staff. So that is allowed. So that means you don't see any 50-year-old person like you getting admitted to the staff, but you do see 25 years old also in the staff first year with 18 years, 17 years.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? Yeah.
My question is that if I study statistics, then what could I do later?
Okay, very good question. I was thinking, now if you have any further questions.
This one the question.
Okay, so I was expecting that somebody will ask us that. So if you are, please sit down. I mean, you can sit. First of all, as you see that, I mean, previously people who were scared of math, they used to choose humanities, like some subjects where they think that they will avoid math and they don't have to look at mathematical questions or anything. But unfortunately now, if you want to pursue higher statistics, particularly master's degree in any discipline, and you have to do dissertation or something, most likely it's very likely that you have to do some practical things to prove whatever you are doing, and you have to collect data, analyze data. So statistics will be necessary everywhere. That's the first thing. So whatever you pursue, some basic level of statistics in it, but that doesn't answer your question, because if you're specializing in statistics, then what you can do. Now, I can only tell you that in ISI, like when typically they continue till master's degree in stat. It's very unusual that somebody gives this stat and immediately takes a career. So they might do something else, but not after this stat usually. So after MStat, there are typically two things ISI students do. One is to go for higher studies like PhD in statistics, these days data science, biostatistics, maybe some people do in business, math definitely. So that is one avenue, and you can do it here in India, the ISI or some other renowned institute, or the ISI students, particularly the BStat, MStat, GMAT, NMAT. The program is so reputed, even internationally, and you can brag about that our BStat program, at least, if there's any world-class program in India, in any discipline, BStat will probably come at top. The reason our students get admitted in PhD programs in the best universities in the world. So I don't know how many institutes can, brag about that for their academic program. So that's the first thing. But not everybody wants to continue for PhD, right? So then you have heard about data science, data analytics, or this kind of things. So basically these days, everywhere you find data. When we are young, when we are doing statistics, at that time finding data was difficult. We didn't have enough data. Whatever you wanted to do, basically you have to collect your own data and do something. But now it's the opposite. We are bombarded with data. It's called big database, right? So you have so much data that everybody needs help because they don't know how to analyze data. So no matter whatever you choose to do as a career, like it can be business, it can be production, it can be even in medical field, they need help. So that's why the fields are biostatistics, bioinformatics, all these things are coming up these days where you need serious applications of statistics. So those are the areas you can find jobs. Some people like us like me, maybe like to teach, and they can be professors at universities that will involve research and teaching. So these are the broad areas, and if you want particular examples on where our students get absorbed, banks, financial institutions, software companies, of course, and many other disciplines, pharmaceutical companies. So, and one thing I must tell you that the number of students that are produced, number of statistics students that are produced, not just ISI, worldwide, nationwide, obviously, not enough to meet the demand of statisticians these days. The demand is more than the supply, and that's why the students are hot commodities in the job market. So if you're good in statistics, there is no, sky's the limit. So you don't have to, and that's another important thing, is that I'm not here to tell you that you should aim for a career in ISI. Rather, I would encourage you that whoever is inclined in applications of mathematics to take up statistics as a career. You don't have to see the seats are limited. Not everybody is going to get to ISI, but there are many reputed institutes in Kolkata, outside Kolkata, in India. If you get a graduate degree in statistics from there, you have one opportunity to get into MStat or other master's programs in reputed universities. And after that, I mean, if you're good, then the job opportunities are huge. So I can assure you that it's going to be like that for the next 10, 15 years, at least, maybe more, when you come into the job market. So I would seriously encourage you to explore, the possibilities. Any other question? Do I have time, or I think I should finish up now? Yeah, any question, or I think we are coming to the end. Okay. Yeah, your question?
So you have been in this institute for quite a few years now. So anything, any information you may have, which you feel we should know before thinking of applying to this institute or pursuing this as a career?
A little more specific thing, like what you want to know, because if I start, then it will take hours. But like, if you want something specific,
So it's okay. You can just explain it in brief, whatever you want to say.
it's difficult. I'll try. Okay. So first of all, I spent from 81 to 86, like 5 years as a student here. That's it. And then I came back after 10 years and joined in 1996. So I completed 26 years in this institute. So I can only tell you that this is obviously unique. It's very different from other education institutions. As you can see, we are very informal. We are very informal, and the teacher-student relationship is very friendly. We are strict, but very strict actually. But at the same time, very sympathetic towards students' needs. If there's any difficulty the students are facing, there is no dearth of help. We're always there to help students. We encourage people to study hard. So that's the only, I'm sure that is probably true for other places, but here it's very, very informal. And since we have limited students, the teacher-student ratio here is pretty good. So that's why we can give individual attention to students and their needs. And the other thing is that typically it's a place like other top institutes, a very pressure type of situation. So it's challenging, obviously. But if you are inclined towards mathematics and applications of mathematics, I think you'll enjoy it. If you like the subject, I'm sure the experience will be, somehow it suited me, so I can only talk about the people who found it suitable for them. But there are occasions when some really bright students, statistics was not for them. So they switched to probably mathematics or they switched to some other things. But if you like the subject, obviously it's a world-class experience. Any other question? Yeah. Maybe one or two more, because I think the time is running out.
So currently many of us here are like from class 9 or to class 8. So how do you prepare like this, and how do you prefer for ISI?
Yeah, I mean, I cannot tell you a formula because I don't think there exists any formula, but I think the main thing is to be good in math. And what do you mean good in math? I always said that the person who is good in math is the person who has done many mathematical questions. So you have to enjoy math. You have to like math in your recreational time. Just like you enjoy playing sports, you probably have to do some math. I'm not saying that that's the only thing you have to do. But if you don't have anything to do, if you like to do math, that means math is your subject. You get my point? Suppose you have some time to do. You can watch television, you can do some sports, but you will enjoy equally. That even suppose your homework's all finished, but even then, you still like to do some math, that means that's your subject. I think that is true for any subject, right? So then you know that, and as I'm saying, prepare for ISI, but you may not get in ISI. Not everybody is going to get in ISI. But if you prepare enough, and if you think the subject is, I mean, you're curious about the subject, you can try to apply to any other place where you get bachelor's degree statistics, and if you are good, it's not that you have to come to ISI to study statistics. Okay. Anything else? Okay, then. It has been a pleasure, and I'll end my session now. And I hope that you have enjoyed your 2 days in ISI, and good luck to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving this the interactive and exciting lecture. All I can see, I mean, all have enjoyed and learned a lot. And I hope they come back as our students in ISI. And now may I request our Chief Librarian, Dr. Satpathy, to hand over token of appreciation to sir.
Thank you. You explain accepting something from your own people because I'm not a guest or outsider. But again, thank you for it.
This is exchange of warmth.
Okay.
Next, we have lecture by Professor Anupam Debsarkar, who is the professor of Environmental Engineering Division, Jadavpur University, and he's going to talk to us on the topic Kolkata's air quality and its sustainable management. So, may I request sir to come here? Chair.
No? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Am I audible? So good afternoon, respected professors of Indian Statistical Institute and other dignitaries present here, and dear students. I will be delivering my lecture on a topic which is very much common in one sense, but at the same time, the students who will be probably not very much aware of the technical terminologies associated with this particular topic. I prepared my slides mostly in English for the sake of the convenience of understanding of all students. I would like to prefer discussion mixed now. So the subject matter of my discussion is Kolkata's air quality and its sustainable management. In fact, on behalf of Environmental Engineering Division and Global Change Program of Jadavpur University, we are presently working on preparation of a comprehensive plan for Newtown Green City. I can share some of my experiences with you all. আমি যে অর্গানাইজেশনকে রিপ্রেজেন্ট করছি আজকে এখানে, আমি ঠিক যাদবপুর ইউনিভার্সিটি থেকে ফ্যাকাল্টি মেম্বার হিসেবে এসেছি, বিষয়টা সবটা এমনটা নয়। আমি রিপ্রেজেন্ট করছি পশ্চিমবঙ্গ বিজ্ঞান মঞ্চ, যার যাত্রা শুরু হয়েছিল 1986 সালে। সেই সালটা খুব গুরুত্বপূর্ণ ছিল এক অর্থে, because that year was observed as 125th birth anniversary of কবিগুরু রবীন্দ্রনাথ। আমরা জার্নি শুরু করেছিলাম এই কতগুলো উদ্দেশ্য নিয়ে, আজও সেই উদ্দেশ্য নিয়ে আমরা চলছি, পথ চলা আমাদের চলছে। আমরা চেয়েছি মূলত হচ্ছে সায়েন্টিফিক টেম্পার যাতে তৈরি হয়, বিজ্ঞান মনস্কতা মানুষের মধ্যে যাতে তৈরি হয়, আমরা যাতে বিজ্ঞানের দৃষ্টিভঙ্গি নিয়ে পরীক্ষা পর্যবেক্ষণ সিদ্ধান্ত এই দৃষ্টিভঙ্গি নিয়ে সমস্ত কিছুকে যাচাই করে গ্রহণ করতে শিখি, সেই উদ্দেশ্য নিয়ে আমাদের পথ চলা শুরু করেছিলাম আমরা। We also had at that time objectives of proper utilization of natural sources, to combat superstition and unscientific ideas, to put science and technology in our daily life for the sake of the society, to promote innovative and fundamental research, to achieve self-reliance, and to develop health and environmental awareness. সেই পথ চলা আমাদের এখনো চলছে। আমি আলোচনাটা শুরু করব, অর্থনীতিতে একটা খুব কমন টার্মিনোলজি আছে, আমরা প্রায়শই ব্যবহার করে থাকি। এখনকার দিনের গবেষণার বিষয়টা হয়ে গেছে ইন্টারডিসিপ্লিনারি গবেষণা। শুধুমাত্র একটা বিষয়ে আমরা সীমাবদ্ধ থাকি না, ইন্টারডিসিপ্লিনারি গবেষণার কাজও করি। সেই কারণে এনভায়রনমেন্টাল ইকোনমিক্স বিষয়টাও এখন একই রকম ভাবে গুরুত্বপূর্ণ হয়ে উঠেছে। সালটা ছিল 2015। ইউএন জেনারেল অ্যাসেম্বলির ওপেন ওয়ার্কিং গ্রুপ তারা একটা প্রপোজাল সাবমিট করে, and that was related to sustainable development goal, আমরা বলে থাকি SDG। এই সাস্টেনেবল ডেভেলপমেন্ট একটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট কনসেপ্ট এই কারণে, একটা সময় ছিল যখন আমরা ডেভেলপমেন্ট বলতে শুধুমাত্র ইকোনমিক ডেভেলপমেন্ট, আজকে সেই দুনিয়ায় আমরা নেই। আমরা কনসিডার করবো ইকোনমিক ডেভেলপমেন্ট, এনভায়রনমেন্টাল অ্যাসপেক্ট কনসিডার করবো, তার পাশাপাশি কনসিডার করবো আমরা সোশ্যাল ইকুইটি। এই তিনটে যে কমন এরিয়া, দ্যাট ইজ কল্ড সাস্টেনেবল ডেভেলপমেন্ট। এবং সাস্টেনেবল ডেভেলপমেন্টের কথা বলতে গেলে মাথায় রাখতে হয় যে এমন একটা ডেভেলপমেন্টের মডেল হবে যে মডেলটা শুধুমাত্র আমরা যারা প্রেজেন্ট জেনারেশনকে বিলং করছি তাদের প্রয়োজনটাকে স্যাটিসফাই করবে এমনটা নয়, ভবিষ্যৎ প্রজন্মের দিকে তাকিয়ে আমাদের ভাবতে হবে। This proposal basically contains 17 goals and 169 targets, and the goal 3 particularly deals with ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all ages. Out of this goal 3, there are 9 sub-goals, and the 9th one deals with the issue of substantially reducing the number of deaths, illnesses from hazardous chemical, air, water, and soil pollution, and the target year is 2030. এখানে যে গোলগুলো রয়েছে এসডিজি 17 গোল, তার মধ্যে 9 যে গোল 3 তার আন্ডারে যে 9 যে সাব গোল রয়েছে সেটাই পরিষ্কারভাবে ইঙ্গিত করছে যে আমাদের এনিহাউ এই এয়ার ওয়াটার সয়েল পলিউশনটাকে কন্টামিনেশনটাকে আমাদের প্রিভেনশন করতে হবে বাই 2030। আমরা আলোচনা করব কলকাতা এয়ার পলিউশন নিয়ে। 2019 সালে ওয়ার্ল্ড এনভায়রনমেন্ট ডে যে স্লোগান ছিল, থিম ছিল, সেটা হচ্ছে বিচ এয়ার পলিউশন। তারপর আমরা 3 বছর পার হয়ে গিয়েছি, প্যান্ডেমিকের খানিকটা বিপর্যস্ত আমাদের জীবন, তা সত্ত্বেও বিষয়টা একই রকম ভাবে গুরুত্বপূর্ণ থেকেছে। কেন গুরুত্বপূর্ণ থেকেছে এই ছবিটা দেখে বোঝা যাবে। এই ছবিটা থেকে বোঝা যাচ্ছে যে ওয়ার্ল্ড পপুলেশন গ্রোথ ওভার দ্য পিরিয়ড 1750 to 2100 প্রেডিক্টেড গ্রোথ এটা রয়েছে। সেখানে দেখা যাচ্ছে যে if you consider the population, what will be the population in the year 2100? And I don't know whether this art will be able to cater this population. 11.2 billion will be the projected population for the year 2100. যেহেতু আমরা সাস্টেইনেবল ডেভেলপমেন্টের কথা বলছি, আমাদের ভবিষ্যতের দিকে তাকিয়ে সমস্ত ভাবনা চিন্তাটা রাখতে হবে। This is one of the important factors because if we consider what are the key drivers of air pollution, কিসের জন্য এয়ার পলিউশন হয়, তার মধ্যে একটা গুরুত্বপূর্ণ বিষয় হচ্ছে যে অবশ্যই আরবানাইজেশন, ইনডিসক্রিমিনেট আরবানাইজেশন, তার পাশাপাশি ইন্ডাস্ট্রিয়ালাইজেশন হচ্ছে র্যাম্পান্ট ইন্ডাস্ট্রিয়ালাইজেশন, পাওয়ার জেনারেশন সেক্টর, we have to go for alternative energy at any cost, transportation system, we have to make it eco-friendly transportation system, and agricultural practice, which is very much energy intensive agricultural practice, so we have to get rid of this. এই যে কি ড্রাইভার গুলো রয়েছে, এগুলোর সাথে সবকটার সাথে কোনো না কোনো ভাবে পপুলেশন বিষয়টা জড়িয়ে। এই ড্রাইভার গুলো যদি কনসিডার করতে হয়, কলকাতা শহরের ক্ষেত্রে অবশ্যই এই কি ড্রাইভার গুলো সবকটা একই রকম ভাবে রেলেভেন্ট এমনটা নয়। So let us go through the health effects of air pollution. কেন আমরা এয়ার পলিউশন নিয়ে এত কথা বলছি? এয়ার পলিউশনের এমন একটা পলিউশনের একটা অ্যাসপেক্ট, আমরা যদি স্টাডি করে দেখি হোয়াট আর দ্য এরিয়াস, যে সমস্ত পলিউশন গুলো রয়েছে, আমি বলবো কলকাতা শহরের ক্ষেত্রে কোন পলিউশন গুলো বেশি রেলেভেন্ট। যে পলিউশন গুলো রয়েছে সেই পলিউশন গুলো থেকে আমাদের যে ধরনের অসুখগুলো হতে পারে, রেসপিরেটরি ইলনেস হচ্ছে ভেরি কমন, কার্ডিওভাস্কুলার ইলনেস, গ্যাস্ট্রোএন্টারাইটিস, ক্যান্সার রিস্ক, নসিয়া, স্কিন ইরিটেশন, সবকটার সাথে এয়ার পলিউশন কোনো না কোনো ভাবে অ্যাসোসিয়েটেড। ওয়ার্ল্ড হেলথ অর্গানাইজেশন 5টা হেলথ রিলেটেড এয়ার পলিউশনকে আইডেন্টিফাই, তার মধ্যে গুরুত্বপূর্ণ যেটা সেটা হচ্ছে PM10, PM2.5, আমরা বলি পার্টিকুলেট ম্যাটার 10, পার্টিকুলেট ম্যাটার 2.5। যে কোনো নিউজ পেপার, particularly during winter months, you can find a lot of newspaper reports on air quality, particularly on fine particulate pollution, PM2.5. এর বাইরেও যেগুলো রয়েছে নাইট্রোজেন ডাইঅক্সাইড, সালফার ডাইঅক্সাইড, ওজোন। ছবিটা দেখানোর মধ্যে দিয়ে আমরা চেষ্টা করছি এই পার্টিকুলেট ম্যাটারগুলো কতটা সূক্ষ্ম। আমরা যে পার্টিকুলেট ম্যাটার নিয়ে সচরাচর রাস্তায় যখন গাড়ি যায়, রাস্তার ধারে ধুলোগুলো যখন ওড়ে, তখন সেগুলো আমরা প্রায় চোখে দেখতে পাই। সেগুলো খানিকটা PM10 এর মধ্যে। PM10 কতটা? একটা হিউম্যান হেয়ার যার ডায়ামিটার হচ্ছে 50 থেকে 70 মাইক্রন, সেই হিউম্যান হেয়ার বরাবর এরকম 5টা থেকে 7টা PM10 পার্টিকুলেট সেটাকে রাখা যায়। আর যদি আমরা বলি PM2.5, তাহলে সংখ্যাটা কত হবে? প্রায় 25 থেকে 30টা একটা হিউম্যান হেয়ারের ডায়ামিটার বরাবর আমরা রাখতে পারবো এই ধরনের ফাইন পার্টিকুলেট। ইন্টারেস্টিংলি, অ্যাজ পার বোস ইনস্টিটিউট 2004 থেকে 2018 সালে যে ডেটা কালেক্ট করেছে, অ্যানালিসিস, সেই ডেটা অনুসারে দেখা যাচ্ছে যে আমাদের কলকাতা শহরের যে PM2.5 রয়েছে তার 80% হচ্ছে PM1, অর্থাৎ 1 মাইক্রন থেকে সূক্ষ্ম। যত সূক্ষ্ম হবে that can penetrate the deeper portion of our respiratory system. So এইটা আমাদের বোঝাচ্ছে PM 2.5 এর মেজর সোর্স হলো কি কম্বাশন পার্টিকেল, অর্গানিক কম্পাউন্ড, মেটাল ফ্র্যাকশন, আর PM 10 এর ক্ষেত্রে ডাস্ট, ওডর, মোড। এই ডিপোজিশন পটেনশিয়ালের ছবিটা আমরা দেখাচ্ছি, দেখতেই পাচ্ছি সবাই তোমরা যে যত সূক্ষ্ম হচ্ছে তত সেটা ডিপার ফ্র্যাকশন, ডিপার পোর্শনে যাচ্ছে, অ্যালভিওলিতে চলে যাচ্ছে। আর তুলনামূলকভাবে বড় যেগুলো PM 10 এর থেকে একটু উপরে, সেগুলো আপার রেসপিরেটরি ট্র্যাকের মধ্যে সীমাবদ্ধ থাকছে এবং আপার রেসপিরেটরি ইরিটেশন কিছু ঘটাচ্ছে। Now we have basically two standards. Now we are not in a position to abide by this standard prescribed by World Health Organization. World Health Organization standard যদি আমরা মেনটেন করার কথা ভাবি, যে পরিমাণ আমাদের ইনভলভমেন্ট দরকার, যে পরিমাণ ইনিশিয়েটিভ দরকার, সেই ইনিশিয়েটিভ আমাদের তার ধারে কাছে আমরা পৌঁছে যাই। These are very rigorous and more stringent as compared to Indian standard. Indian standardটা একটু আমরা শর্ট করে চোখ বুলিয়ে নিই। ইন্ডিয়ান স্ট্যান্ডার্ডে 12টা স্ট্যান্ডার্ড প্রেসক্রাইব করা হয়েছে ফর 12 ক্রাইটেরিয়া এয়ার কোয়ালিটি। মানে একটা এরিয়াতে এয়ার কোয়ালিটি ভালো কি খারাপ, যে প্যারামিটার গুলো রেসপেক্ট আমরা বলতে পারি, সেই 12টা প্যারামিটারকে ইন্ডিয়া আমরা ইউজুয়ালি কনসিডার করে থাকি, এন্ড উই কল ইট ন্যাশনাল অ্যাম্বিয়েন্ট এয়ার কোয়ালিটি স্ট্যান্ডার্ড। এর দুটো ধরনের ভ্যালু রয়েছে, অ্যানুয়াল একটা ভ্যালু আর একটা 24 আওয়ারলি ভ্যালু। দু ধরনের এরিয়া ক্রাইটেরিয়া রয়েছে, একটা হচ্ছে ইন্ডাস্ট্রিয়াল, রেসিডেন্সিয়াল, রুরাল এন্ড আদার এরিয়া, আর একটা মিনিস্ট্রি অফ এনভায়রনমেন্ট এন্ড ফরেস্ট এন্ড ক্লাইমেট চেঞ্জ তারা যে প্রেসক্রাইব করেছে, তারা যে ডেজিগনেট করেছে যেগুলোকে ইকোলজিক্যালি সেনসিটিভ এরিয়া, তাদের ক্ষেত্রে আরেকটু স্ট্রিনজেন্ট স্ট্যান্ডার্ড। এই পরিসংখ্যানগুলো একটু চট করে চোখ বুলিয়ে 2018 এর ছবি, খুব বেশি দিনকার আগেকার নয়। Look at this particular slide. Look at this slide. 97% of the cities in low and middle income countries with more than 1 lakh inhabitants do not meet World Health Organization air quality guidelines. This is the scenario. However, in high income countries, that percentage decreases to 49%. তাহলে ইনকাম লেভেল তার সাথে এয়ার কোয়ালিটির একটা ডাইরেক্ট লিঙ্কেজ। এবং আমরা যদি ছবিটা দেখি যে মূলত হচ্ছে আফ্রিকান কান্ট্রিজ, মিডল ইস্ট কান্ট্রিজ, ইন্ডিয়া, সাবকন্টিনেন্ট, এগুলো হচ্ছে ওয়ার্স্ট এফেক্টেড কান্ট্রি, চায়না, এগুলো হচ্ছে ওয়ার্স্ট এফেক্টেড কান্ট্রি। মূলত এগুলো সব ডেভেলপিং কান্ট্রিজ এর মধ্যেই পড়ছে। যে বিষয়টা আমরা এতদিন জানতাম, আমরা এই যে কথাগুলো বলছি যে এয়ার পলিউশন ইজ ডাইরেক্টলি অ্যাসোসিয়েটেড উইথ রেসপিরেটরি ইলনেস, আমরা দেখবো কি কি ইলনেসের সাথে রেসপিরেটরি ইলনেস ছাড়াও কি কি ধরনের ইলনেসের সাথে এটা ডাইরেক্টলি অ্যাসোসিয়েটেড। নতুন তথ্য বলছে যে এয়ার পলিউশন ইজ অলসো অ্যাফেক্টিং নিউরো ডেভেলপমেন্টাল প্রসেস লিডিং টু লোয়ার কগনিটিভ টেস্ট আউটকাম। এবং এই যে আফ্রিকার একটা ছেলের ছবি আমরা দেখেছি, তার ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ডে যে ছবিটা দেখা যাচ্ছে, সেখান থেকে আমরা বুঝতে পারছি যে ডেভেলপিং কান্ট্রিজে কি ধরনের এয়ার কোয়ালিটি রয়েছে। দেখো এই পরিসংখ্যানটা বলছে তোমাদের এখানে অনেকেই রয়েছে বিলো 15 এজ, 93% অফ ওয়ার্ল্ড চিলড্রেন তারা এক্সপোজড হচ্ছে PM 2.5 লেভেল অ্যাবাভ ওয়ার্ল্ড হেলথ অর্গানাইজেশন কোয়ালিটি এয়ার কোয়ালিটি গাইড, যেটার মধ্যে হচ্ছে 630 মিলিয়ন অফ চিলড্রেন লেস দ্যান 5 ইয়ার্স অফ এজ and 1.8 বিলিয়ন অফ চিলড্রেন লেস দ্যান 15 ইয়ার্স অফ এজ। এবং এইটার ক্ষেত্রে মিডল ইনকাম কান্ট্রি, লো ইনকাম কান্ট্রি ক্ষেত্রে 98% অফ অল চিলড্রেন, আর হাই ইনকাম কান্ট্রিতে 52% অফ চিলড্রেন। এবং 600,000 deaths in children less than 15 years of age were attributed to the joint effects of ambient and household air pollution. এই হাউসহোল্ড এয়ার পলিউশনে আজকে আমাদের আলোচনা বিশেষ সুযোগ নেই, কেন নেই? হাউসহোল্ড এয়ার পলিউশনের বিষয়টা ইনডোর এয়ার পলিউশন, তার সবথেকে বড় ভিকটিম হয় হচ্ছে উইমেন পপুলেশন, যেটা আমরা খেয়ালের কনসিডারেশনের মধ্যে রাখি না। যে বহু উইমেন পপুলেশনের ক্ষেত্রে দেখা যায় বহু মানুষ তারা ক্যান্সারের শিকার হচ্ছে কোন রকমের স্মোকিং এর হ্যাবিট এই ধরনের না থাকা সত্ত্বেও। কেন? বিকজ ইন লো ইনকাম কান্ট্রিজ দে আর হ্যাবিচুয়েটেড উইথ বায়োমাস বার্নিং অর কুকিং পারপাস। তাহলে এই যে প্র্যাকটিসটা রয়েছে, এই প্র্যাকটিসটা রেসপিরেটরি ইলনেসের পক্ষে অত্যন্ত মারাত্মক। 2012 সালের স্ট্যাটিস্টিক্স, 8 million deaths in the world attributable to combined effects of ambient and indoor. ইনডোরে হচ্ছে 3.7 মিলিয়ন, 4.3 মিলিয়ন হচ্ছে ইনডোরে হচ্ছে 4.3 মিলিয়ন, আউটডোরে হচ্ছে 3.7 মিলিয়ন। তাহলে ইনডোর এয়ার পলিউশনটা আরো বেশি বিপজ্জনক। এবং কি কি রোগ, আমি প্রথম 5টা রোগের কথা বলছি which are directly associated with air quality degradation. Number 1, ischemic heart disease, cerebrovascular disease, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease COPD, lower respiratory infection, lung cancer. এই 5টা ডিজিজ ডাইরেক্টলি অ্যাসোসিয়েটেড উইথ এয়ার কোয়ালিটি ডিগ্রেডেশন, এবং এগুলোর সঙ্গে অ্যাসোসিয়েটেড ডেথ টোল হচ্ছে সবথেকে বেশি। তারপরে যে পঞ্চম বা ষষ্ঠ যে রোগগুলোর কথা রয়েছে, HIV, এইডস এবং ডায়রিয়ার ডিজিজ, এগুলোর সাথে এয়ার কোয়ালিটি ডিগ্রেডেশনের কোনো সম্পর্ক নেই। কিন্তু প্রথম 5টা they are directly associated with air quality degradation. And look at this particular figure, you can find deaths per 1 lakh people attributable to pollution. দেখো ইন্ডিয়ান সাবকন্টিনেন্টের যে ছবিটা দেখো, আফ্রিকান কান্ট্রিগুলোর ছবি দেখো, they are worst affected in terms of number of deaths per 1 lakh people. এয়ার কোয়ালিটি ম্যানেজমেন্ট দিয়ে আমরা অবশ্যই আলোচনাটা শেষ করব। এয়ার কোয়ালিটি ম্যানেজমেন্টের ক্ষেত্রে যে স্টেপগুলো থাকে, প্রথম স্টেপ অবশ্যই থাকে যে পলিউশনের সোর্স গুলো কোথায়, উই হ্যাভ টু আইডেন্টিফাই দ্য সোর্স। আমরা অনেক সময় এয়ার পলিউশন নিয়ে যখন কথা বলি তখন একটা ভুলে যাচ্ছে, আমরা ওয়াটার পলিউশন নিয়েও কথা বলি, কিন্তু একটা সাধারণ কমন সেন্স থেকে আমরা ভাবতে পারি, আচ্ছা আমরা দিনে কতটা জল খাই প্রত্যেকদিন? 3 লিটার, খুব বেশি হলে 3.5 লিটার, 2.5 লিটার থেকে 3.5 লিটার। এই সংখ্যাটা মোটামুটি অ্যাভারেজ মানুষের ক্ষেত্রে এটা অ্যাপ্লিকেবল। আচ্ছা আমরা দিনে কত লিটার এয়ার আমরা ইনহেল করি বা এক্সহেল করি? আমরা প্রায় 23,000 বার শ্বাস প্রশ্বাস ছাড়ি দিনে, এবং তাতে প্রায় 11,500 লিটার আমরা এয়ার নিই, ইনহেল করি এবং এক্সহেল করি। তাহলে যদি এয়ারটা যদি ডিগ্রেডেড হয়, ডেটিরিওরেটেড এয়ার কোয়ালিটি যদি হয়, তাহলে তার এফেক্টটা কতটা হবে? এবং আমার ইচ্ছে, আমি যদি ইচ্ছা হয় আমি 2 ঘন্টা জল না খেয়ে থাকি, কিন্তু 2 ঘন্টা নিঃশ্বাস প্রশ্বাস না নিয়ে আমি কখনো থাকার কথা ভাবতে পারি। ফলে এয়ার কোয়ালিটির বিষয়টা এতটাই সেন্সিটিভ। আমি গুরুত্ব হিসেবে বলছি না যে তোমরা ওয়াটার পলিউশনকে গুরুত্ব দিও না, কারণ ওয়াটার পলিউশনের ডেথ তো যথেষ্ট বেশি যদি আমরা দেখি ডায়রিয়াল ডিজিজ। কিন্তু এটা মনে রাখতে হবে, আমাদের আইডেন্টিফাই করতে হবে ফার্স্ট স্টেপ যে কোথা থেকে এয়ার কোয়ালিটি ডিগ্রেডেশনটা হচ্ছে, সোর্সটা। সেকেন্ড হচ্ছে এয়ার কোয়ালিটি স্ট্যান্ডার্ডটা জানতে হবে, এয়ার কোয়ালিটি মনিটরিংটা হচ্ছে অত্যন্ত প্রিসাইসলি করতে হবে। এমিশন ইনভেন্টরি প্রিপারেশন, সেটাও একটা গুরুত্বপূর্ণ কাজ। তারপর আমাকে প্রায়োরিটাইজ করতে হবে সোর্স, কোন সোর্সটাকে আমি প্রায়োরিটাইজ করবো। আমি কলকাতার পরিসংখ্যানটা ভাবছি, এবং সেই সোর্স প্রায়োরিটাইজেশনের উপর বেস করে we have to delineate the control strategy and develop the decision support system. 2017-18 এই সময় গভর্নমেন্ট অফ ইন্ডিয়ার একটা অর্গানাইজেশন ন্যাশনাল এনভায়রনমেন্টাল ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং রিসার্চ ইনস্টিটিউট, তারা একটা স্টাডি করেছে কলকাতা এবং হাওড়া টুইন সিটি। আমি কলকাতার রেজাল্টটা দেখাচ্ছি। কলকাতার সব থেকে বড় সোর্স অফ PM10 ইজ রোড ডাস্ট অ্যাজ পার দেয়ার স্টাডি। বোস ইনস্টিটিউটের স্টাডি রেজাল্ট একটু ডিফার করে। নেক্সট যেটা থাকছে সেটা হচ্ছে যে হাউসহোল্ড অ্যাক্টিভিটি 13.33% and construction dust. If we consider PM 2.5 scenario percentage share, household is 27.9%, road dust 24%, transportation exhaust 23.5%. আমরা আগেই বলেছিলাম PM 2.5 এর কম্বাশন সোর্স হচ্ছে একটা মেজর। তো ট্রান্সপোর্টেশন এক্সস্ট 23.5%, সেটা আমাকে অ্যাকাউন্ট করতে হবে ফর দ্য পারপাস অফ বেটারমেন্ট অফ এয়ার কোয়ালিটি। Now let us go to the scenario. All these things are collected from standard documents. You can find the PM10 level is 2.7 times the standard average PM10. Now if we go through this Bose Institute study, then you will find from 2004 to 2018 এই 14 বছরের মধ্যে 50% পার্টিকুলেট লোড বেড়ে গেছে কলকাতা শহরের ক্ষেত্রে। Now similar thing happens in the case of nitrogen dioxide, nitrogen oxide level NOx. It is exceeding standard by 1.8 times. সালফার ডাইঅক্সাইডের ক্ষেত্রে বিশেষত কলকাতার আশেপাশে যেহেতু এই মুহূর্তে আমাদের কোনো অ্যাসেট থার্মাল পাওয়ার প্ল্যান্ট নেই এবং আমরা লো সালফার ডিজেল বেশ কিছুদিন হলো ইন্ট্রোডিউস করেছি, সালফার ডাইঅক্সাইড আমাদের উত্তীর্ণ হওয়ার বিষয় নয়। কলকাতা শহরের ক্ষেত্রে we have to take into consideration three criteria air pollution. Number 1 PM10, number 2 PM 2.5 and nitrogen oxides. এই তিনটেকে নিয়ে আমাদের ভাবনা চিন্তা করতে হবে। Look at the winter trend. This is most important because for Kolkata city as well as all metro cities you can find the worst scenario happens during winter months. আমরা সকালবেলায় আমি একটা খুব সাধারণ উদাহরণ দিই প্রায়শই, যে আমরা অভ্যস্ত শীতকালে সকালবেলা সবাই বাড়ির বয়স্করা বিশেষ করে মর্নিং ওয়াকে দ্যাট ইজ ফেটাল ট্রেন্ড। এই মানসিকতা যদি থাকে যে মর্নিং ওয়াক করবো সকালবেলা 5:30 5টার সময়, তাহলে সব থেকে বিপদ ডেকে নিয়ে আসে, কারণ ওই সময় শহরের বাতাস সব থেকে খারাপ। উইন্টার মান্থসের ক্ষেত্রে যেটা 4 টাইমস দ্য স্ট্যান্ডার্ড, আমাদের ইন্ডিয়ান স্ট্যান্ডার্ড 4 টাইমস এক্সিড করছে। And hourly average value, এটা এই ট্রেনটাকে আরো বোঝাতে চাইছি যে আমরা যত সন্ধ্যাবেলা থেকে রাতের বেলার দিকে যাব, কলকাতা শহরে আরো বিপজ্জনক প্রবণতা হচ্ছে যে ডিজেল ভেহিকলস গুলো, হেভি ভেহিকলস যারা মোস্টলি ডিজেল ড্রিভেন, সেই সময় সেই ভেহিকল গুলো যত রাত্রিবেলা আসা শুরু হয়, ফলে পার্টিকুলার লোড আরো বাড়তে থাকে এবং সেটা পরের দিন সকালবেলা যতক্ষণ না রোদ উঠছে ততক্ষণ এটার এফেক্টটা থাকে। এটা একটা বেনজিন ডেরিভেটিভ, বেনজো আলফা পাইরিন। এটা ওয়েস্ট বেঙ্গল পলিউশন কন্ট্রোল বোর্ডের ডেটা। এটা ডাইরেক্টলি ক্যান্সারের সাথে অ্যাসোসিয়েটেড। এটা একটা ভোলাটাইল অর্গানিক কম্পাউন্ডের মধ্যে পড়ে। এটা একটা ট্রেন মাপা হয়েছিল, দেখা গিয়েছিল এটা পারমিসিবল লিমিটের থেকে বেশ কিছুটা সময় 2 টাইমস থাকে। যদি আমরা পেট্রোল পাম্পের কাছাকাছি যাই এই কনসেন্ট্রেশন একটু বেশি পাবো। দে আর অল এমিটেড ফ্রম ট্রান্সপোর্টেশন এক্সস্ট। আমাদের মোড অফ ট্রাভেলিং কি হলে সব থেকে ভালো হয়? আমরা দেখছি মেট্রো হলে সব থেকে ভালো হয়, স্বাভাবিক ধ্যান ধারণা থেকে আমরা বলতে পারি। আর সব থেকে খারাপ হচ্ছে যদি আমরা ট্রামে যাই, বড় বড় জানলা, আমরা এক্সপোজ হবো তত বেশি পলিউশনের। যদিও ট্রাম ইটসেলফ একটা এনভায়রনমেন্ট ফ্রেন্ডলি মোড অফ ট্রান্সপোর্ট, কিন্তু উপায় নেই আমাদের সেক্ষেত্রে। এয়ার কোয়ালিটি ট্রেন্ডস 2008 থেকে 18 যে কথাটা বলছিলাম, ন্যাশনাল অ্যাম্বিয়েন্ট এয়ার কোয়ালিটি স্ট্যান্ডার্ড সেটা হচ্ছে 60 মাইক্রোগ্রাম পার লিটার টু PM10 এর থেকে, তার থেকে আমরা প্রায় দ্বিগুণ 2.5 গুণ 3 গুণের কাছাকাছি অনেক সময় থাকি উইন্টার মান্থে পার্টিকুলারলি। এখন এটা ইয়ারলি অ্যাভারেজের ক্ষেত্রে এই রিফ্লেকশনটা খানিকটা অ্যাভারেজড হয়ে যায় বলে আমরা বুঝতে পারি না, কিন্তু উইন্টার মান্থের সিনারিওটা হচ্ছে খুব বেশি প্রিকারিয়াস। আর হু স্ট্যান্ডার্ডে আমার ধারে কাছে নেই, সেটা নিডলেস টু মেনশন। PM 2.5 এর ক্ষেত্রে ট্রেনটা প্রায় সিমিলার, হু স্ট্যান্ডার্ডে আমরা ধারে কাছে নেই একদম। নাইট্রোজেন ডাইঅক্সাইডের ক্ষেত্রে কিছুটা ট্রেনটা ইমপ্রুভ করেছে লাস্ট কাপল অফ ইয়ার্স। ডিউরিং লকডাউন এন্ড আনলক ফেজে আমরা যদি দেখি কলকাতা শহরের ক্ষেত্রে কি ট্রেন্ড, 2020 তে আমাদের বেটারমেন্ট হয়েছিল এয়ার কোয়ালিটি, কারণ 2020 তে একটা লকডাউনের একটা ইম্প্যাক্ট আমরা পেয়েছিলাম। 2019 আমাদের খারাপ ছিল, 2021 আবার একই রকম ভাবে খারাপ হয়েছে। এই স্টাডিটা খুব ইন্টারেস্টিং এই কারণে, চিত্তরঞ্জন ক্যান্সার রিসার্চ ইনস্টিটিউট এই স্টাডিটা করেছে। তারা এই স্টাডিটা করেছিলেন কলকাতা শহরের শিশুদের ক্ষেত্রে এবং তার পাশাপাশি সুন্দরবনের শিশু, তাদের ক্ষেত্রে দেখেছিলেন যে কলকাতার শিশুদের পাশাপাশি কলকাতার যারা সব থেকে বেশি ওয়ার্স্ট এফেক্টেড, যারা এক্সপোজড হন অ্যাম্বিয়েন্ট এয়ার কোয়ালিটি, অ্যাম্বিয়েন্ট এয়ার পলিউশন, ট্যাক্সি ড্রাইভার, ট্রাফিক পার্সন, ট্রাফিক পুলিশ, তাদের ক্ষেত্রে দেখা গেছিল যে একটা বায়োমার্কার ইট ইজ কল্ড অ্যালভিওলার ম্যাক্রোফেজ, যত বেশি এয়ার কোয়ালিটি ডিগ্রেডেড এয়ার কোয়ালিটি এক্সপোজ হবে সেই পরিমাণটা সংখ্যাটা অনেক বেশি হবে। এবং সেটা দুটো কম্পারেটিভ ছবি দেখাচ্ছে যে কন্ট্রোল এরিয়া সুন্দরবনের ক্ষেত্রে হোয়াট ইজ দ্য সিনারিও and what is the scenario for Kolkata's taxi driver. A large number of increase in AM count was observed. Kolkata ক্ষেত্রে দেখা যাচ্ছে 43% urban children in comparison to 14% of rural children, they have respiratory disorders. সেটা অনেক সময় আমরা জানি না, আমাদের নানা রকম ভাবে ম্যানিফেস্টেশন হয়। কিন্তু এটাকে আমরা অস্বীকার করার জায়গায় নেই। এয়ার পলিউশনের ইম্প্যাক্ট কি হতে পারে লাইফ এক্সপেক্টেন্সি? কয়েক সপ্তাহ আগে, আমি বলছি সপ্তাহখানেক আগে বলা বাহুল্য, ইউনিভার্সিটি অফ চিকাগো তারা একটা স্টাডি করেছে। স্টাডি করে রিপোর্ট করেছিলেন যে গড়পড়তা ইন্ডিয়ান, যে আমাদের ইন্ডিয়ানদের ক্ষেত্রে 5 ইয়ার্স আমরা আমাদের লাইফ প্ল্যান 5 বছর, এবং দিল্লির ক্ষেত্রে যারা রেসিডেন্টস অফ দিল্লি তাদের ক্ষেত্রে 9.7 ইয়ার্স। এতটাই শোচনীয় হচ্ছে এয়ার কোয়ালিটি। তো কলকাতার ক্ষেত্রে কি চ্যালেঞ্জ আমাদের জন্য? কলকাতাকে আমরা যদি আমরা স্ট্র্যাটেজিক পার্টে আসি, কলকাতা যেহেতু PM 2.5 এর ক্ষেত্রে একটা মেজর কন্ট্রিবিউটর হচ্ছে ট্রান্সপোর্টেশন এক্সস্ট, এনিহাউ আমাদের এই তকমাটাকে ঘোচাতে হবে যে আমরা হচ্ছে ডিজেল ক্যাপিটাল। কলকাতা শহরে প্রায় 17-18 লক্ষ গাড়ি চলে, তার মধ্যে প্রায় 40 to 50% হচ্ছে ডিজেল ড্রিভেন ভেহিকল। আমি একটা সংস্থায় কাজ করতাম আজ থেকে প্রায় 20-22 বছর আগে, ওয়েস্ট বেঙ্গল পলিউশন কন্ট্রোল বোর্ড। সেখানে চেয়ারম্যান হিসেবে আমি পেয়েছিলাম ডক্টর দেব কুমার বসু, খুব সম্ভবত ISI এর সাথে যুক্ত ছিলেন। তো তিনি আমাদের একটা কথা বলতেন যে রাস্তা দিয়ে যখন আসছে একটা টাটা সুমো আসছে, সেই টাটা সুমোতে একজন মাত্র বসে, তার জন্য তো টাটা সুমো দরকার, 6 সিটের গাড়ি তার জন্য দরকার। কিন্তু আমরা বুঝি না যে সেটা কতটা পলিউশনের জন্য রেসপন্সিবল। আমাদের এই তকমাটা ঘোচাতে হবে যে ডিজেল ক্যাপিটাল অফ ইন্ডিয়া, কারণ এই টু হুইলারের ক্ষেত্রেও ইনক্রিজটা যেরকম হয়েছে তেমনি ডিজেল ড্রিভেন ভেহিকেল। কলকাতা শহরে যে সমস্ত ভারী ভেহিকেল গুলো চলাচল করে তার 99% হচ্ছে ডিজেল ফুয়েল ভেহিকেল। আমাদের স্ট্যান্ডার্ড গুলো করার ক্ষেত্রেও আমরা অনেক পিছিয়ে রয়েছি, এবং দেখা যাচ্ছে 99% অফ কমার্শিয়াল ভেহিকেল কলকাতা ডিজেল ড্রিভেন। এই প্রবণতাটা, ডিজেলের যে এমিশনটা হয়, এই কারণে আমরা এত গুরুত্ব দিচ্ছি। এটা হচ্ছে ক্লাস 1 সার্টিফিকেশন কন্টেন্ট, ডিজেলের থেকে যে এমিশনটা হয়। আমরা এত কথা বলি এয়ার কোয়ালিটি নিয়ে, কিন্তু এয়ার কোয়ালিটি আমাদের কনস্টিটিউশনে কি কি রাইটের কথা বলা হয়? আর্টিকেল 21, আর্টিকেল 39, আর্টিকেল 47, আর্টিকেল 48, চারটে আর্টিকেলে সুনির্দিষ্টভাবে বলা আছে যে we at any cost the policymakers should ensure the prevalence of air quality necessary for our healthy lives. কিন্তু সেটা আমরা মেনটেন করতে পারছি না। লাস্ট কাপল অফ ইয়ার্সে যে ঘটনাটা ঘটেছে, আমরা আমপানের স্মৃতি আমাদের রয়েছে। আমপানে কলকাতা শহরে সরকারি পরিসংখ্যান হচ্ছে 15,000, বেসরকারি মতো 50,000 গাছ উপরে পড়ে, এবং হাইকোর্টের যে ভার্ডিক্ট রয়েছে, একটা গাছ কিন্তু আমাদের 10টা গাছ আমাদের বসানো হয়। কলকাতা শহরের ফরেস্ট সার্ভে অফ ইন্ডিয়া তারা একটা সার্ভে করেছে, মিনিস্ট্রি অফ এনভায়রনমেন্ট ফরেস্টের আন্ডারে। তারা সার্ভে করে দেখছেন কলকাতার এমনিতে আমাদের কলকাতার গ্রিন কভারেজ হচ্ছে লেস দ্যান 1%, যেটা যদি হিসেব করি আমরা কতটা কলকাতা শহরে গ্রিন কভারেজ রয়েছে, সেটা হচ্ছে 1.8 স্কোয়ার কিলোমিটার। তার মধ্যে মডারেটলি ডেন্স ফরেস্ট হচ্ছে 1.7 স্কোয়ার কিলোমিটার, 0.1 স্কোয়ার কিলোমিটার হচ্ছে রিলেটিভলি ডেন্স ফরেস্ট। তাহলে এই যে ফরেস্ট কভারেজ রয়েছে আমাদের কলকাতা শহরে, ওপেন এরিয়া 1% এর থেকেও কম, রোড এরিয়া 6% এর থেকেও কম, যেখানে ডেফিনেটলি রয়েছে 21%। তাহলে রোড এরিয়া যদি আমি না বাড়াই, ট্রাফিক কনজেশনের সমস্যা বা সম্ভাবনা অনেক বেশি হবে। গ্রিন কভারেজ যদি না পাই, তাহলে আমার এই পলিউশন লেভেলটা, বিশেষত কার্বন সিকুয়েস্ট্রেশনের জন্য যেটা দরকার, সেই গ্রিন কভারেজটা আমরা পাচ্ছি। এটা লাস্ট 1 ডিকেডের ক্ষেত্রে দেখা যাচ্ছে কলকাতা হচ্ছে সবথেকে গ্রিন লস 30%, কলকাতা শহরে হচ্ছে ম্যাক্সিমাম। যেটা এই ছবির মধ্যে রয়েছে যে ফরেস্ট কভারেজ হচ্ছে লেস দ্যান 30%, -30% আমরা লস করেছি ইন পাস্ট ডিকেড, যেটা অন্য শহরের সাথে অন্যরা অনেকে গেইন করেছে, আমরা এটা লস করেছি। কলকাতার ফরেস্ট কভারেজ যে পরিসংখ্যানটা দিলাম সেটা দেখালাম। এনিহাউ যদি আমাদের PM 2.5 লেভেলটাকে যদি আমাদের ন্যাশনাল স্ট্যান্ডার্ডের কাছাকাছি নিয়ে আসতে হয়, we have to shift from gasoline and diesel to cleaner fuel. Cleaner fuel হিসেবে যে অপশনটা আমাদের আছে LPG, যেটা 10% কার্বন ডাইঅক্সাইড সেভিং করে, সিএনজি সেটা 25% করে। সিএনজি তে শিফট করতে হবে এবং কিছু কিছু ক্ষেত্রে এখন এই উদ্যোগটা দেখা যাচ্ছে যে আমরা এক হচ্ছে ইলেকট্রিক ভেহিকল দেখছি, আর একটা হচ্ছে সিএনজি ভেহিকল, সিএনজি ড্রিভেন ভেহিকল চালু করার একটা চেষ্টা রয়েছে, সেটা দ্রুততার সাথে করতে হবে এবং মাস ট্রানজিট সিস্টেম এটাকে এমফাসাইজ করতে হবে। এই কাজটা যদি না করি তাহলে ট্রান্সপোর্টেশনের মতো একটা মেজর সেক্টর, তার পাশাপাশি আরো দুটো সেক্টর, সেই সেক্টরটাকে এই নিউ টাউন রাজারহাট তারাও যেরকম এমফাসাইজ করছে, সেটা হচ্ছে যে রোড সাইড যে সমস্ত রিফিউজ বার্নিং আছে, শীতকালে এটা আমাদের খুব কমন এক্সপিরিয়েন্স, রাস্তার ধারে প্লাস্টিক কাপ থেকে শুরু করে সিমেন্ট ক্রেট সবকিছু পোড়ানো হয়। এটা আরো মারাত্মক এই কারণে এটার কোনো কন্ট্রোল আমরা ইম্পোজ করতে পারি এবং এগুলো একটা এরিয়া সোর্স রয়েছে, একটা ক্লাস্টার এরিয়া। রাজারহাট নিউ টাউনের মতো জায়গাতে যেখানে তুলনামূলকভাবে সলভেন্ট পিপল থাকেন, সেখানেও কিন্তু এই প্র্যাকটিস, এটা আমরা সার্ভে করে দেখেছি, আমরা ছবিগুলো দেখেছি যে এইরকম এরকম পয়েন্টে এই ধরনের অ্যাক্টিভিটিস হচ্ছে। আমি শেষ করবো যে কথাটা বলে, এই স্ট্র্যাটেজি গুলোর কথা বলবো। এর মধ্যে অনেকগুলো স্ট্র্যাটেজির কথা বলে দিয়েছি আমি, ক্লিন ফুয়েলের কথা বলেছি, ইলেকট্রিক ভেহিকলসের কথা বলেছি, কনস্ট্রাকশন ডেব্রিস, কনস্ট্রাকশন ডাস্ট, তার ক্ষেত্রে দুটো স্ট্র্যাটেজি নিতে হবে, স্প্রিংকলিং অফ ওয়াটার, যত্রতত্র ছড়িয়ে রাখা হয় কনস্ট্রাকশন মেটেরিয়াল, এবং কভারিং দ্য সাইট উইথ নন পারমিয়েবল শীট। হোটেল রেস্টুরেন্টের ক্ষেত্রে বিশেষত রোড সাইড ইটারিস, সেগুলোর ক্ষেত্রে আমাদের এলপিজি ফায়ার সিস্টেমের দিকে যেতে হবে, যেগুলো এখনো অনেকগুলো ক্ষেত্রে কোল ফায়ার সিস্টেম রয়েছে, সেখানে আমাদের শিফট করতে হবে। রোড সাইড ফুড স্টলের ক্ষেত্রে কনস্ট্রাকশন মেটেরিয়াল গুলো ডাম্প করে রাখা যাবে না সেগুলোর ক্ষেত্রে, এবং ওপেন বয়লার ফর মেল্টিং অ্যাসফল্ট সেটাকে আমাদের প্রিভেন্ট করতে হবে। আমি কথা শেষ করবো যে কথাটা বলে, যেটা আমি ইউনিভার্সিটি অফ শিকাগোর যে স্টাডিটার কথা বলছিলাম, এনার্জি পলিসি ইনস্টিটিউট তারা যেটা করেছে, সেটাতে দেখা যাচ্ছে যে অ্যাম্বিয়েন্ট এয়ার পলিউশনের জন্য ইন্ডিয়াতে $0.5 ট্রিলিয়ন খরচ হয়। অ্যাম্বিয়েন্ট এয়ার পলিউশনের জন্য যে সমস্ত শারীরিক অসুস্থতা গুলো হয়, সেগুলো চিকিৎসা করতে গিয়ে এই পরিমাণ খরচ। এবং এই যে এই অংশগুলো দেখা যাচ্ছে, যে প্যাচ গুলো দেখা যাচ্ছে, যেখানে যেখানে এয়ার কোয়ালিটি খারাপ, সেটা আজকে কয়েক বছর আগে স্টাডি করেছে 3.5 ইয়ার্স আমাদের অ্যাভারেজ লাইফ স্প্যান কমছে। আজকের দিনে ইউনিভার্সিটি অফ শিকাগো স্টাডি বলছে আমাদের লাইফ স্প্যান কমছে অন অ্যান অ্যাভারেজ 5 ইয়ার্স। আজকের যে শিশুটা জন্মাচ্ছে তার যদি অ্যাভারেজ আয়ু হতো 75 ইয়ার্স, সেটা হয়ে যাবে 70। দিল্লির ক্ষেত্রে প্রায় 10 ইয়ার্স, মানে যে 75 ইয়ার্স আয়ু হওয়ার কথা সেটা হয়ে যাচ্ছে, লাইফ স্প্যান হওয়ার কথা সেটা হয়ে যাচ্ছে 65। তাহলে কি ধরনের অ্যাওয়ারনেস দরকার? যে স্ট্র্যাটেজি গুলোর কথা বললাম আমরা সবই ঠিক আছে, কিন্তু আমরা পশ্চিমবঙ্গ বিজ্ঞান মঞ্চ থেকে যে কথাটা বলি যে আমাদের মাস অ্যাওয়ারনেস দরকার। আজকের যারা রয়েছে এখানে হল ঘরে, এই অডিটোরিয়ামের মধ্যে রয়েছে, তারা যদি অ্যাওয়ার হয়, তারা এই কথাটাকে মেসেজটাকে ছড়িয়ে দেবে আরো অনেকের মধ্যে। যদি এটা আমরা ছড়াতে পারি, এই ঘটনাটা ঘটেছিল কোথায়? সিডনি শহরে 2019 সালের 10 ডিসেম্বর, যখন সিডনি শহরে একটা ঘটনা ঘটেছিল, যে আমরা ছবিটা যদি দেখি, সিডনি বিখ্যাত অপেরা হাউসের ছবি, সিডনির লাগোয়া একটা জঙ্গল, বড় জঙ্গল, সেখানে দাবানল ঘটেছে এবং তার ফলে এয়ার কোয়ালিটিটা এরকম ধরনের ডিগ্রেডেশন হয়েছে। এতটাই কনসার্ন হয়েছিল যে যে লিমিটটাকে বলা হতো 200, যাকে বলা হয় হ্যাজারাস লেভেল, সেটাকে ছাপিয়ে এয়ার কোয়ালিটি ইন্ডেক্স হয়েছিল 2552। এবং যারা উডবি মাদার, দে আর সো কনসার্ন যে তারা রাস্তায় নেমে তারা র্যালি করেছিলেন এই কথাটা বলে, যে স্টপ বার্নিং আওয়ার বেবি প্রিন্সেস। So this level of awareness we need to generate amongst ourselves. তাহলে আমরা এক্সপেক্ট করব আজকের এই আলোচনার মধ্যে দিয়ে আমরা কলকাতা শহরের সিনারিওটাকে তুলে ধরার চেষ্টা করব, এবং কি দরকার, কি সাস্টেনেবল ম্যানেজমেন্টের জন্য কি স্ট্র্যাটেজি অ্যাডপ্ট করা দরকার, তার পাশাপাশি আমাদের কমিউনিটি লেভেলে কি ধরনের অ্যাওয়ারনেস দরকার। এটাকে যদি আমরা প্রেশার গ্রুপ হিসেবে কাজ করতে পারি সকলের কাছে, যেরকম আমরা পশ্চিমবঙ্গ বিজ্ঞান মঞ্চ করছি, চেষ্টা করছি যে গভর্নমেন্ট লেভেলে গিয়ে কথাবার্তা বলতে, যে সিএনজি ইন্ট্রোডিউস করুন দ্রুততার সাথে, সিএনজি ফিলিং সেন্টার তৈরি করুন, রিফিলিং সেন্টার, তারপরে ইলেকট্রিক ভেহিকলস এর দিকে যেতে হবে, কনস্ট্রাকশন অ্যাক্টিভিটিস এর ক্ষেত্রে যে রুলস এন্ড রেগুলেশন রয়েছে সেগুলো স্ট্রিক্টলি ইম্পোজ করুন। এই কথাগুলো বলতে হবে। এই কথাগুলো শুধুমাত্র একটা অর্গানাইজেশন বা একটা ইনস্টিটিউট বললে হবে না, সকলকে সমস্বরে কথাটা বলতে হবে। যদি বলতে পারি তাহলে আগামী দিনে কলকাতাটাও বাসযোগ্য থাকবে। আর সাস্টেনেবল ডেভেলপমেন্ট বোর্ডে যে কথা দিয়ে আমরা আলোচনা শুরু করেছিলাম সেই লক্ষ্যেও আমরা পৌঁছতে পারবো বাই দ্য ইয়ার 2025। এই কতগুলো কথা বলে সকলকে ধন্যবাদ জানিয়ে
না ঠিক আছে।
Thank you so much, sir. Hello. Thank you so much, sir, for this informative lecture. And it's a kind of burning, situation at the moment. And now, may I request our chief librarian to present a memento? Yeah. Thank you, Professor Devsharkar, once again. Now, may I request this little boys, where are they? This Virat and Viraj. Yeah, please come on the stage along with his parents. Yeah, you know them, they are popularly known as calculator boys. Actually, they are only 8 years old. However, they have, during this lockdown, they have acquired some kind of skills. They can calculate, so quickly. They have received a lot of awards, and now we'll, get to see their skills. I would request his parents to, speak to them, and the entire house is welcome to interact with them, and you can ask any kind of questions regarding calculations rather, and they will be able to answer. Virat, Viraj, ready? Yes, they are ready. So now, can you use this, or would you like to use the caller mic? Take this caller mic. Yeah. Now it's, yeah, please start. Caller's mic is there. Another, no, you take this and we'll ask the, yeah. Audience is there. One was there with the audience. Yeah. Fine. What about his father?
Good evening, everybody. First of all, I'd like to thank Director Ma'am, Secretary Sir, Monali Ma'am, and the entire team of ISI for inviting Virat and Virat as their special. These kids are known as calculator boys. Right? What they do, which type of calculation they do, Abhi मैं बताती हूँ. Sir, any 2-digit number, any difficult 2-digit number from your not 13, 20, ऐसा नहीं.
79 and 83.
79. जैसे हम मल्टीप्लिकेशन टेबल्स बोलते हैं ना, 2 1 का 2 2 का 4 2 का 6, तो सर ने 2 नंबर लिया है 79. तो सबसे पहले टेबल से शुरू करते हैं, जिसके लिए इन्होंने कई रिकॉर्ड्स बनाए. आप सभी काइंडली अपना कैलकुलेटर ऑन कर लें ताकि आप इनको चेक कर सकें कि सही कर रहे हैं आप. Or they are the pan-India first kids to recite multiplication table in reverse order. ये reverse order में tables को बोलते हैं.
ठीक है. Sir,
Hello, good evening everyone. My name is Virat Makar. Hello, good evening everyone. My name is Viraj Makar.
First of all, he is going to recite 79, multiplication table of 79 in forward order. Calculator on 79 plus 79 करके ऊपर का
79, 158, 237, 316, 395, 474, 553, 632, 711, 790.
Reverse multiplication table of 79.
790, 711, 632, 553, 474, 395, 360, 237, 158, 79.
Now, 83. 83 was the number. 83 was the
83, 166, 249, 332, 450, 498, 581, 664, 747, 830.
83 reversal.
830, 747, 664, 581, 498, 415, 332, 249, 166, 83.
79 into 79.
624. 6241.
83 into 83.
83 into 83. 6885.
Now, दोनों नंबर जो सर ने दिया है 79 into 83 करो.
6557.
179 into 179.
3204.
179 into 179 into 179.
573539.
279 into 79.
77841.
279 into 279 into 279. Of them.
2171639.
379 into 379.
143641.
179 but table.
179, 358, 537, 716, 695, 895, 1014, 179, 358, 537, 716, 895, 1014, 142, 183, 366, 549, 732, 915, 1098, 1281, 1464, 1647, 1830.
Like they can derive squares and cubes till 500 any number. But maths is all about calculation and concepts. So concepts जो ये जो आपके अपने फादर के साथ सीखे हैं ये क्लास 5 से करके मैथ्स बना लेते हैं और 8 9 10 का भी कुछ पोर्शन इसके फादर ने कराया है इन दोनों के पापा ने. तो अभी ये कुछ कॉन्सेप्ट्स से बात करेंगे कि ये करते कैसे.
ऑर्डिनल नंबर
और second, third, fourth, fifth. Cardinal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, infinity. Natural number और उसको सेट करना काउंटिंग नंबर. Whole number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 plus infinity. Integer number line minus infinity to plus infinity including 0. 0 का sign nothing.
1 dozen is equal to
1 dozen is equal to 12 pieces.
1 gross,
1 gross 12 dozen or 142.
1 score,
20.
1 quintal,
100 kg.
1 ton,
1000 kg.
a plus 0,
A.
a minus 0,
A.
a into 0,
0.
a by 0,
A by 0 not exist. That's not it.
0 by a.
0. 0.
What a prime number?
जिसका सिर्फ और सिर्फ 2 फैक्टर्स होता है। फैक्टर किसी भी नंबर का फैक्टर्स वो सारा नंबर होता है जो उस नंबर को किसी तरह से डिवाइड कर देता है। कंपोजिट नंबर जिसका 2 से ज्यादा ट्विन प्राइम जो प्राइम होता है उसका डिफरेंस 2 होता है। एग्जांपल 3 और 2 और 3 नहीं जिसका डिफरेंस 2 होता है 3 और 5 5 और 7 11 13 15 17 11 का उस नंबर के ऑड प्लेसेस में जो डिजिट दिया हुआ है उसका सम निकालेंगे और उस नंबर के इवन प्लेसेस में जो डिजिट है उसका अलग से सम निकालेंगे और वो दोनों सम है उसको उसका डिफरेंस निकाल कर देखेंगे कि 0 11 22 33 47 का मल्टीपल आ रहा है। 7 का डिजिट उसका उस नंबर के लास्ट डिजिट को उठाएंगे और उसको इनटू 2 कर देंगे और जो हम लोग घटा दिए थे और उसको जो बचा हुआ है उसका उसके माइनस करेंगे उस प्रोडक्ट से नंबर और 7 का डिजिट 0 आ सकता है 7 14 7 का मल्टीपल 12 and 20 12 का फैक्टर 1 2 2 3 4 6 and 12 और 20 का 1 ऐसे 4 ऐसे 60 first number into second number is equal to SCM of both number into SCM of both number।
मेजरमेंट किलोग्राम 1 किलोग्राम में कितना सेंटीग्राम
1 किलोग्राम में कितना सेंटीग्राम 1 लाख। पैलिंड्रोम नंबर वन वाला में क्या आता है जैसे 11 तो आया तो 1011 पेरीमीटर उसका आउटर बाउंड्री का मेजरमेंट
प्लस इंटू माइनस
प्लस बाय माइनस
प्लस 5 इंटू माइनस 3
प्लस 5 इंटू माइनस 3
प्लस 5 इंटू माइनस 3
माइनस 15
माइनस 3 प्लस 5
माइनस 3 प्लस 5 प्लस 2
माइनस 5 प्लस 3
माइनस 5 प्लस 3 माइनस 2
triangles on basis of side
triangles on basis of side equilateral जिसका तीनों साइड सेम हो और तीनों एंगल सेम होते हैं आइसोसेलेस
all the angles measure
equilateral में all the angles measure equal
कितना होगा
180
180 सब हो गया
हाँ
triangle कितना होगा
एक एंगल 60
isosceles triangle
आइसोसेलेस ट्रायंगल भी पर दो तो साइड सेम होता है दो एंगल सेम होते हैं
scalene triangle
स्केलिंग ट्रायंगल जिसका तीनों साइड अलग होते हैं तीनों एंगल अलग होते हैं
सारा एंगल बताओ कितना
एंगल 7 एंगल 0 एंगल 0 एंगल जिसका मेजरमेंट 90 फुट और 90 फुट ऑक्यूट एंगल 90 मेजरमेंट 90 से ज्यादा 90 से कम स्ट्रेट एंगल मेजरमेंट 180 डिग्री और रिफ्लेक्स एंगल 180 से ज्यादा 60 से कम मेजरमेंट 180 से ज्यादा 360 से कम और फिर कंप्लीट एंगल मेजरमेंट 360 डिग्री
area of a triangle
area of a triangle half into height.
Perimeter of a triangle ABC.
ABC. AB plus BC plus CA.
Area of circle.
Area of circle. Area of circle. Pi r square.
Perimeter of circle.
Perimeter of circle. Pi r.
Height of value.
22/7. Yeah, 3.14.
Last question. कैसे ये कर
ये जो एक मतलब ये कैलकुलेशन करके ये दिखा रहे हैं उसके कैसे डिराइव कर रहे हैं वो ये बताइए अगर हम स्क्वायर या क्यूब तो कौन सा फार्मूला यूज करते हैं
Plus b का whole square, a square plus b square plus 2 into a square, a minus b का whole square, a square plus b square minus 2 into a into b. फिर a plus b का whole cube, a cube plus b cube plus 3 into a into b into bracket a plus b bracket close, a minus b का whole cube, a cube minus b cube minus 3 into a into b into bracket b bracket close.
79 का स्क्वायर 4 तरीके से बताओ.
A minus b का whole square, a square plus b square minus 2 into a into b. 80 minus 1 का whole square, 80 का square plus 1 का square minus 2 into 80 into 1, 80 का square 6400, 1 का square 160, 2 into 80 into 1, 160, 160 उसको solve करें तो आंसर 6241 आएगा.
बाकी लास्ट फाइव फॉर्मूला बोलो a cube plus q
A cube plus b cube. A cube plus b cube, a plus b into bracket a square plus b square minus ab. A cube minus b cube. A minus b into bracket a square plus b square plus ab. A square minus b square. A square minus b square. Into bracket p plus c bracket close, which is equal to a into b plus a into c, which is equal to a plus a. A into bracket p plus c plus b bracket close. B minus c.
sum of first three
Sum of first few consecutive natural numbers is equal to n into bracket n plus 1 by 2.
audience any question any difference with 500 any cube till 500 any square and any two digit multiplication they will derive and give you the answer. Any questions from your side? Till 500 beta they can derive with the algebraic expression formula till 500.
Tables of 499.
490.
499, 499, 998, 1497, 1996, 2495, 2994, 3493, 3992, 4491, 4990. One thousand into 2000, 20 lakhs.
Any question? How about 468 का square? 468.
Two 219024.
Any more question? Otherwise we find out. Huh? 311 का cube.
967. 3008023.
audience is out of question.
हाँ बेटा बोलो क्वेश्चन हाँ like they derive with the same number because they use the formula a plus b whole cube. So वो जैसे 365 तुम बोला तो 300 plus 65 करके वो सॉल्व करते हैं. तो सेम नंबर बोलो कोई कभी निकालिए 5 like 65 बोले तो 65 का पूरा स्टोरी बता देंगे. कोई नंबर बोलो.
464 का स्क्वायर बताओ कि बताओ.
हाँ बताओ.
69696.
These are very small kids, which give, they're just started. And my best wishes to all of you, because they were using some terminologies which are out of their course. They just entered standard 3. They were in lockdown. They were in UKG only. So we got your clappings and best wishes also, which will be very valuable to them. So thanks from our side. And these kids are inspiration to me as a math teacher, as a father, and should be inspiring to you also, because when they can do, you can definitely do. You all are from 7th standard, 8th standard. All my best wishes. Thank you so much. Thanks the entire team, ma'am, sir, and thank you. We have especially come down here to just Nana also. So thank you so much.
Thank you to our calculator boys, and we have small gifts for them.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
We will now start our valedictory session. After this, we will be announcing names of the winners of Innovative Science Model Exhibition. So please stay with us. I would like to invite on stage Lieutenant Colonel Shandeep Pal, officiating CISI, for presenting the opening remark. And also our Deputy Director, Professor Dipti Prasad Mukherjee, sir, please come on stage. part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, we had this 2 days open day program by ISI, and now we have come almost to the end of it. We are starting our valedictory session. I would like to invite Lieutenant Colonel Sandeep Pal, our officiating chief, to say his opening remarks. Sir.
You all awake? इतना मैथ्स तो हमने पूरी जिंदगी में नहीं किया, नहीं? Well done, kids, and it's really we should actually thank you. You have enlightened us that we can also do something with maths. Okay, so good evening, students, ladies and gentlemen. I, Colonel Sandeep Pal, the officiating chief executive, on behalf of the entire Indian Statistical Institute fraternity, welcome you to today's valedictory session of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. It is indeed our privilege to honor such lively and young, talented audience who are always full of enthusiasm and zeal, and who have gathered here from so many different prestigious schools all across Kolkata and West Bengal. Talking a bit about ISI, by now for these 2 days, you must have got an overview of what this institute is all about. Indian Statistical Institute is a premium institute which was founded by Professor P.C. Mahalanobis in Kolkata in the year 1931. The institute achieved the status of Institute of National Importance by an Act of Indian Parliament in the year 1959. Indian Statistical Institute is a unique institute devoted to the research, teaching, and application of statistics, natural science, and social science. It also engages in projects and consultancy in statistical quality control and operations research. Coming on to this event proper, this is a first-hand experience that ISI has tried to do. This particular event, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, it's an initiative of the Government of India to celebrate and commemorate 75 years of independence and the glorious history of its people, culture, and achievements. Indian Statistical Institute has always been a pathfinder and a pioneer in taking initiatives in such occasions, wherein we can get associated with young and bright students like you all, and try to guide or initiate the spark within you to motivate all to be at their best so that we can help the country grow and achieve the standards as desired, as you all indeed are the building blocks of the nation. As part of the celebration, we had just organized this 2 days trip of open day, come, explore, engage, and enjoy. So as the name goes, it is basically learning with a lot of enjoyment and in a playful mood, wherein we wanted to connect to this unique and talented mix of students through various lectures, demonstrations, workshops, and exhibitions. This must have given you an overview of the institute and its great achievements as well. At last, I'm very confident that we have been able to make these 2 days fruitful and interesting for you all. And we hope that we have been able to ignite the young minds to do wonders for yourself and the country. I wish each one of you who are present offline and online all the very best for your future endeavors, and hope to see you all as an aspiring candidate of this institute also. Thanking you all once again. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Now we would like to hear from our audience, especially from our students, feedback regarding the last 2 days session. Anything, anybody, Anybody wants to say something? Raise your hands.
At least one student. Share your experience, feedback. We have a wonderful case for somebody. The student who encourages with giving it. Yes, there is one. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Can come quickly. What is Be there, be there.
So the 2 days event was really, really awesome and gathered a lot of experience. Different projects were made and we have gathered a lot of experience about the different projects, how they work, and we have gone to the museum too. We have so many things, we have gone to the library. And last I want to say that we have gathered a lot of experience and we have fun too. And that's it. Good. It was great.
Or you want improve? You will get the gift. Identify yourself. Your name and school. And school.
My name is Sridhar Banerjee and I'm from Monica Secondary High.
One more student can I go? Yes.
I am the main call from Khalsa Model Science Chemistry, and it was a very wonderful experience for me and my whole schoolmates. It was such a wonderful experience. We got to experience a lot of things, new things, and we also that so many sessions gave us new ideas, basic knowledge about and that cosmos. That was for me. It was the best session for me. Thank you so much.
Yeah. You know, identify what's your name?
The meet call.
Okay, do you know there is an alumni from
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and what is and why? How do you know her name?
Padma Bhushan Awards she won.
She's the youngest winner of the Shanti Shri Bhatnagar, the highest honor science.
I'm Shubham Ajumdar from the 8th grade. So first of all, thank you all for this amazing today. We learned a lot. We had amazing experiences. So I think that I'm sort of was explaining everything that is all there. Just thank you all. I would love to have these sessions again.
Which one you like most?
Oh, Cosmos was, to be honest, Cosmos session was the best. Lecture was the best. Very interesting. And quantum science was very rapid.
Okay. Thank you, students. Now we will proceed to our next speaker. We have with us today Sri S.L. Menaria. Sir, are we audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Maybe a bit louder will be better.
Maybe I am closer to the mic anyway. Shall I speak?
Yes. So, yes.
I can't hear you.
So now it's okay now?
Yeah, it's okay now.
Okay. Today we have with us Sri S.L. Menaria, DG NSS, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, Government of India, New Delhi. Sir, as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, we have organized this 2-day session where we have science shows, lectures by eminent speakers, visit to our different museums, including library, and also science model exhibition, etc. So I would request you, sir, to say something.
Thank you. Director ISI, Lieutenant Colonel Sandeep Paul, Chief Executive Professor Amrendra Behra, Professor Deepti Prasad Mukherjee, and students, researchers, scholars, ladies and gentlemen. I am from National Statistics Office, and this Indian statistical system bring out some government statistics like gross domestic product, price statistics, and many of the other government statistics. And our system, Indian statistical system, is deeply indebted to ISI, Indian Statistical Institute. I will very briefly mention the history, maybe at cost of repetition. In 1949, when the National Income Committee was set up under the chairmanship of Professor P.C. Mahalanobis, it started national income estimates, and the National Income Unit, which was under Ministry of Finance, is today now Central Statistics Office, which compiles the national account statistics, including the GDP estimates. Similarly, the national sample surveys, which are one of the oldest and largest household sample surveys in developing countries, was started in 1950 by Professor Mahalanobis again. And in 1972, it was handed over to National Sample Survey Organization. Today, NSSO is one of the largest survey organization in the world with a manpower of more than 5,000 under its aegis and conducting several surveys. Senior professors of ISI have always been guiding the statistical system in technical matters through consultative committees of the ministry. And coming back to this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, it was, you know, that this year, 15th of August, this is the 75th anniversary of independence of India. And this Mahotsav started on 12th of March 2021. In fact, it was a 75-week countdown to the Independence Day, and the celebrations started in March 2021. Every ministry was allocated a particular week in which activities which are people-centric, that is Jan Bhagidari, was to be ensured. And that is how we have organized certain events under this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And I'm happy that ISI arranged this open day science program for 2 days for the university and college and school students to come explore and experience how the statistics is worked out. I'm thankful to ISI organizers. Friends, this compilation of statistics is quite a complicated and challenging task. And quite often, the general public is not aware of the challenges which are faced by the statistical system. And I hope that the young students and researchers would act as ambassadors in the public, and they will explore how the system works. And as the feedback was also being given by some of the students, they have enjoyed it. I am very, very thankful to the ISI administration, all the senior professors, and all the participants which have participated in 2 days this open science program. All the best. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to interact with you, though a brief one. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We would now like to call Professor Deepti Prasad Mukherjee, Deputy Director ISI, for concluding remarks.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, and
I'm sure you're very tired by now, and I don't know whether there was a lunch packet or not, but that effect has probably diminished by now, like a Gaussian distribution at the end. Anyway, just at the end, I would like to remind you of an important observation that I was present in the inauguration program. Some of you were present there as well yesterday. So there, I think the speakers reminded you that you, as young student, has a responsibility, and that responsibility is at some point of time you're going to come over here, right? Maybe down the line, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now, we would like you to see all of you or some of you come here and give leadership to the community at large. Therefore, from the platform of the Indian Statistical Institute, what the term I'm going to use as charging, probably you know there is something called a graduation ceremony, and we commonly call that as a convocation. So in the convocation of the Indian Statistical Institute, our president charges the graduating students. So it's a charge, it's a responsibility given to the students. And what is that responsibility? The responsibility is, in thoughts and actions, you should be deserving citizens of the world in future. So in similar tone, with these 2 days of valuable experience, I request you to come back to the institute or an institute of this kind of nature, so that in future we can see you all in the leadership position of this country, right? With these words, wish you best in your future, and thank you once again that you came to ISI. I'll again request you to come back to ISI time to time, interact with our faculty members, look at our museums and labs, and gain experiences. But above all, remember that here is a responsibility that you are taking today as a take-home message, and you have to come back to this institute or an institute of similar nature so that you effectively contribute to the society. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have organized innovative science model exhibition from where different schools have participated. Our expert committee have selected 6 science models out of all the participants. And please remember, there is no first, second, third division. All are winners, and we have just selected 6 out of them. So I am just reading the names of 6 schools. It will be easier if one student from each school can come on stage. Khalsha Model Senior Secondary School, Morning Bells Academy High School, WWA Kashipur English School, Belgoria Jyotin Dash Vidya Mandir for Girls, APJ School, Park Street, and the last one, Sri Sri Academy. I would request our Deputy Director to hand over the gifts to them. Okay. Khalsha Model Senior Secondary School is here. Okay. Morning Bells Academy. Okay. WWA Kashipur English School. Belgoria Jyotin Dash Vidya Mandir for Girls. APJ School, Park Street, Sri Sri Academy. Okay. Third name is WWA Kashipur English School. Anybody from? Next is Belghoria Jyotindas Vidyamanti for girls. APJ School, Park Street. APJ School, Park Street. Anybody from APJ School, Park Street?
No one. APJ School. Morning. I think there is now no one from APJ School, Park Street.
Okay, Sri Sri Academy.
APJ Sri Sri Academy.
Sri Sri Academy.
Kashipur,
I think. Yeah, Kashipur. Kashipur page.
We have come to the end of this today's session. As a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, I would request our Chief Librarian, Dr. Kishore Chandra Satpathy, to present the vote of thanks.
A very good afternoon to all of you. I know, you are very impatient by this time, but we had a very hectic schedule for last 2 days. Every good things has to come to an end. We are end of the program right now. Professor Dipti Prasad Mukherjee, the Deputy Director of this institute. Sri S.L. Minariaji, Director, NSS, MOSPI, Government of India, New Delhi. Colonel Sandip Palji. When we started thinking of organizing this event, we had very little time in our hand. We thought of accommodating a large number of schools, but due to some of the constraints, we could not accommodate all the people. However, in last 2 days, we could accommodate almost 400 students in the programs, and we had different programs. I hope you have enjoyed the program. And future also, we'll be organizing such programs and we'll be communicating to you in the course of time. Now I come to the formal vote of thanks. I take this opportunity to thank S.L. Minariaji, the DG, NSS, MOSPI, Government of India. I know sir was very busy. Today also they had the validation program over there. Sir, thank you very much taking out some of your valuable time and interacting with our students. Thank you very much, sir. I take this opportunity to thank our Deputy Director, Professor Dipti Prasad Mukherjee. Thank you, sir. You have been a guiding force behind the whole program. Thank you, sir, for sparing your time and interacting with our students. I would like to thank Sandip Palji and the entire administration for facilitating us for organizing the program smoothly. Organizing such a program requires a huge manpower, and I'm glad that I have an able team which works day and night for me to organize a program. And I would like to thank our library team members led by our 2 deputy librarians, Monali and Dr. Tapan. Thank you very much for supporting me in the whole way for organizing this program. I would like to request all my library team if they can come up to the stage so that the students can see who are the people who work day and night for last 3-4 days to make this program a grand success. Can you please come on the dais, please? My entire library team. Yeah, library team members, please come to the dais. Whosoever is present over here, because I know a lot of them are still working behind the scene. By the time they are coming to the dais, let me thank the entire administration, starting from state office to transport, to accounts, to the audiovisual unit, and all other departments who have directly supported us, the computer science service unit, and all other units. I may not name them individually one by one, but they have supported us wholeheartedly so that we could organize this program. Organizing such a program for 2 days, managing 500 students altogether, 400 students and other faculty members and supporting staffs. It was a difficult task for us, but kudos to my team that they could make it a grand success. I take this opportunity to specifically thank Srimay for anchoring this event very beautifully. I would like to thank all my interns, those who are working in the library, for helping us day and night for making this event a grand success. Last but not the least, I would like to thank Director of this institute, Professor Sanghamitra Bandyopadhyay, for supporting us, guiding us in organizing such events. I take this platform to thank our Chairman Library Committee, Professor Ashish Ghosh, who is always behind us and supporting us in organizing such programs. And I may not take everybody's name over here. I would like to thank everybody who has supported directly or indirectly to us in organizing this event successfully. Thank you very much. So can you give a big applause to the staffs? These are the small team who work for day and night for making this event a grand success. Thank you very much. I would like to also thank our parent ministry for helping us all the way in organizing these programs. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Satpathy, and thank you, Mr. Mukherjee. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for joining online. Thank you, sir. There is some announcement. All the certificates will be sent to the respective schools, so don't worry about the certificates. The prize winners, those who have the models for which we have shortlisted, will be sending separate certificates to them also. So be in touch with us. We'll be sending within the next 2-3 days. We'll be sending certificates to all of your schools. Thank you very much for joining us, and I wish you a very happy Rath Yatra. Be safe, reach your home safely, and send us SMS or WhatsApp that you have reached safely. Thank you very much.